What?
No, I'm enjoying my life right now.
Yeah, exactly. That describes nothing but a self.
So anything like mid-Terry period. I was with Barb when I went to Brett's wedding.
But you can get in the hospital real quick, you know. Man, I'm so fucking depressed. I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah,
Because they let you in the hospital and they give you room.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Oregon has like a law where, as long as you're like mentally cognitive and sane, and two doctors write in acknowledgement, you know, kind of like when those two doctors, you know, came, like the what if doctors, basically, so that kind of come in during the recovery and be like, in case shit goes down, and you sort of need to like move on, you know, like, you know, your time is nigh, basically, type of thing. It's like, I mean, that's an actual law where you yourself can do that, you know, as long as two doctors acknowledge that you're cognitively, you know, sane in making this decision for, you know, not just because, I'm depressed, like, because, like, hey, I live, like, 90-some years, you know, there's literally nothing else for me to do, like, yeah, I could visit this country, but meh, you know, I've kind of did everything I already need to do, you know, I've already, you know, like, I found all the meaning and stuff in my life, I'm good, you know, like, that's a legitimate reason that you can, you know, go in and be like, all right, well, we'll make a procedure and start that up, and, like, you know, go for this procedure where, you know, at the end, you could be around your relatives and shit and be like, all right, well. Yeah, because there's recently a story about a couple who lived with each other for like 60-some years and lived up to their late 90s, and both of them, you know, at the same time, were just like, yeah, we literally did everything in life together as we, you know, possibly could think of now. We're just kind of happy now. We're at like basically like this like bliss of like, you know, we're fine if we just like go to sleep and just forever, essentially. And they're like, all right, well, let's do that together. Let's just spend our last moments, you know, just happy or whatever. It's, you know, because the thing is, you know, you got to think about it. Like, you know, if one of your, you know, like if you got like a, you know, couple, you know, that and one of them dies, and then like 3 years later the other one is, you got to imagine those last 3 years must be really like pretty, you know, I mean, you know it, I mean, because you've been through that type of experience a couple times, you know, in a sense. And Granddad recently went through that, you know, so it makes sense if instead of like both of them dreading the fact that one of them may pass on before them, and then they kind of have to sit there and be like, well, now I literally got nothing else to my life, really, you know, I mean.
Now, you heard Johnny Cash is, of course, right?
Oh, yeah, I know about Johnny Cash, yeah.
And June Carter, basically, he got real sick, and he was supposed to die first.
Yeah.
And she went first, and then basically the song hurt.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what that's about.
It's about, you know, yeah, because, I mean, you know, there is, like, especially if you've lived with someone for so long and have had such that much of a close, like, connection, and then have that just severed like that. I mean, you know, there's people who die literally just because of the pain of just losing their relative, like literally literally within like a year the other person will die, and it's not because of anything else, it's just basically because, well, they just kind of in some level kind of lost the will, essentially. I mean, which yeah, I mean, you know, like even with H.W. Bush, for example, that happened when Laura passed away. He died within like a year, or maybe less than that, maybe. I don't know how long like the gap was, but it, you know, it just kind of shows that, you know, over time, you know, like, it definitely really proves, you know, to have such a detriment, you know, to have such a connection loss, which, you know, which is what I'm kind of like that little law that Oregon got, because, like, you know, it gives people an opportunity to just skip this, you know, that part of their life, you know, it's like, I don't want to deal with, like, 5, 10, however long I got, by the time, you know, like, by the time I'm, like, 80-something or something like that, you know, because, you know, people, you know, can live up to pretty long, like longevity lives, you know, these days. I mean,
like me, I'm not ready to go, but
yeah, like I want, yeah, like I mean,
all of a sudden I got some kind of cancer and everything else.
at the same time, you know, you are like, I mean, you know, yeah, like I mean, people are kind of in that stage too, you know, like, you know, they still obviously are having their purposes and their meaning, you know, and they're still trying to deal with, you know, their daily struggles and shit. But you know, it's like on one level, it's like they know, you know, they lived enough of a life, you know, where it's like
can't wait till the doctor comes in. Basically, Robert, I hate to tell you something. What's that? I have bad news for you. You have cancer, you know.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
you know, Doctor, really?
Well,
good.
I mean,
hallelujah,
well,
praise the
what
Lord.
if? I mean, what if there's like a new, maybe not like a surgery, but like this new research where it's like you could take this thing or have like this one little procedure and it will help combat the cancer and shit. You don't have to do like chemo and stuff. I mean, like, cause there's so much. Yeah, like I mean, the thing is just chemo is like that's pretty much like the most common form of treatment out, but there are treatment for cancer that unfortunately is absolutely abhorrently fucking expensive. And there's even some countries where they're getting close to cures for specific cancers. Like I think in Cuba, they recently almost, I think, or at least damn near close, came to a cure for lung and pancreatic cancer, I think. One of those two or both of them. I'm pretty sure it was pancreatic cancer. And I don't know all the exact details, but they were close to getting to that type of research. And essentially, I think it was a pill that they were developing that was able to help that. And if Cuba is eventually, you know, doing, you know, that type of research and is able to get it, you know, more global and international and spread that research around, that will help immensely with cancer research. And potentially all we would have to do is just have a prescription and just keep taking that, and you're essentially cancer-free. I mean, you know, at least lethally cancer-free. I mean, you know, on one level, we're not all technically cancer-free. I mean, cancer is a natural thing that develops in the body, but your body knows how to fight it. It's the reason why it comes out, you know, and just takes such an effect, and, you know, we get, like, lung cancer, etc., is because those cancer cells have a slight alteration, so your body doesn't 100% recognize it and can't do anything about it by the time it gets so big. And then that's when, you know, the actual cancer starts. By that time, they're just like tiny little tumors, so if you see like a weird little tiny abnormality on your skin or something, it's probably what it was, but then it just will fade off over time. Because I got like minor blemishes, you know, that pop off and go, like come back and go away after time, and it's just like, oh, my body is doing weird shit. It's like, well, there's something that like tumified over there.
Yeah, I got a great big, I don't know why there's a big bone on the back of my back. Yeah, for years.
Do what?
It's probably part of the stenosis, the lumbar.
Yeah, you're close.
A little bump. Huh.
Maybe. If it's like a part of your bone, maybe it's like a disc is like slipped or something. I don't know exactly, but maybe. I want to go to a chiropractor though, because I know, because they aren't actual doctors. They are just like, they're just like overly glorified backcrackers.
You know where I want to go? On my cloud phone, there's a psychic.
Oh, I've seen that place. I've
$10.
I've saw that. I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like this. I'm looking and I've thought about it. I'm like, do people go in there? I haven't seen anyone enter there. It's like right next to like some dentistry or some shit.
Yeah, somewhere right there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what it is. There's like a fat sign right out front. Yeah.
$10. Shit, I'm just
what a easy way to get like people, you know, to get some money out of people. Just like come in for a quick psych read for $10. Because I mean, essentially like a psychic. I've seen their spiel. It's not honestly that hard. It's like the psychics that like do those that go on like reality TV. They'll like pick out random people in the audience and be like, all right, well, I'm thinking of someone with the last name of like a random last name, and someone will be like, that's me. And they'll be like, all right, well, now I'm going to think of your grandmother. Her name was. It started with like a L, a M. There's an M in there somewhere. And they'll be like, yeah, my grandma Martha or something like that. or like Marlena or something like that, because just saying random little vague things and then be like, all right, well, and try to like basically go into like minor vagueness of just based off the details of like what people will pop out, and it's just like I can see how that can easily like be like, oh, kind of interesting, because like it's not like necessarily a bad trade, because on one hand, the person might actually be like, well, I want to try to help people out and see, try to delve in their life a little bit.
That's it. It's like hire some people are frauds.
Oh yeah,
most real frauds. Taking the money.
Carl my Negus. Oh, Carl, hey, you're here, bro. Dude, did you go to the Big Chief? You gotta let me know, bro. I came on here partially with an agenda to see what happened with your event, if you were able to go into that. Oh. Man, I saw their ideology to the Big Chief and it looked exciting. I'm jealous. I'm jealous that they went to the Big Chief. If you went, I'm going to be extra jealous. Unfortunately, by the time I woke up, it was too late. No shit, dude. Really?
My uncle was...
Oh, man.
That sucks.
Dude.
Sounds like an injury.
Not really. Like, I've got my shit kind of fixed. But, to quote Kevin Sorbo, disappointed! I would have gotten there by the time it ended. Damn, son. Damn. Oh.
Yeah, it was
even
bizarre working.
I should have stayed up too late. I would have. Man, I would. When it comes to like these events, I always try to put out a specific alarm up to the point of like last second, like. And if I feel like I couldn't have like woken up to a certain point, I'll be like, I'll make like a dilemma. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna set like 20 alarms up until then, or I'm gonna stay up all night. And usually I try to do the alarm thing first, but if there's like 3 nights prior or 4 3 hours prior, I might just stay up. I didn't even plan it until the night before. Yeah, we sort of low key, we planned it on the stream. We planned it on our stream. Like, we sort of just like, hey, like, should I just go? And I'm like, dude, go. And you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's get it. Make me proud. If there's ever another DFF meetup in the South, I'll make an effort to go. Dude, hell yeah, bro. I mean, I wonder if there's any footage or anything like that that'll come out of the Big Chief meetup. Because that'll be awesome to see, like, how the Big Chief meetup went, man. For some reason, I was so bummed out on the fact I can't go to this. Like, the LA meetup, I didn't feel as bad, but for some reason, I'm just like, I'm sitting here like, I feel like so ashamed I'm unable to go to this, and I'm so far away. Like, this is the one time I feel utterly just, like, shameful I'm unable to go to an event like this. It's so, I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that it's just a grease pit and awesome looking food, at least. I'm pretty sure it's tasty as fuck. If it has like very high ratings from the populace of Glencoe, Alabama. But it just looks awesome, dude. I would have loved to gone. Eventually I'm making it a bucket list to go there. Like, it's on my list now to go to that place eventually. If I ever find myself anywhere near the South or Alabama for any reason. Well, if I'm in Alabama, the main reason will probably be the Big Chief. But it's just like, yeah. Wouldn't have been a 4-hour drive from here, though, Atlanta to Gadsden. Damn.
Yeah, I'm not on any social media.
Damn. I was kind of pumped because I was going to ask you a bunch of questions about about what happened. And I was just like, damn. I didn't even give a fuck about the Big Chief. I just want to see Paul Parkin and the Kirk brothers. I know, that's funny. Like, I'm making it, like, I guess it's just now that, like, this random little obscure place that no one knew or gave a fuck about. It's now, like, big in this little community just on the mere fact that there was an episode done on this fucking town of Glencoe, Alabama, and they happened to do a Google Earth tour of the place and just happenstance found the Big Chief. And that it made this. Like, talk about a butterfly effect, dude. Oh my goodness. On the mere happenstance, they're like, hey, yeah. Big Chief isn't anything special. Yeah, well, I mean, it's got a slight little touch to it now. It's got a touch now. It's got a little bit of its touch now. I ain't gonna lie. It's got the sponsorship of the neckbeard lords of the pessimist productions and shit. There's definitely some level of like a little bit of specialty now. Before any of this, I would have been the same thing. Like, yeah, there's nothing special whatsoever, but I mean, think about it. Like, maybe Pessimist Productions will probably make this a yearly thing. Like, think about it. I mean, it's not that far away. I mean, it's, you know, it's, I mean, for at least, the DFF crew, like, it's not that far off. It's only a 6-hour drive. For various different fans, it's a good opportunity for them to just meet them, even if they're under 21, if they can't go to meetups. And it's just literally it's like a little event thing. I mean, it's just like, hey, it's a quick little thing. Show up. If you do, if you don't, whatever. Hey, you know. We should make it like a yearly thing, or at least like every 2 years or something like that. Because if they did it again, and I had the opportunity, I would try to go. I honestly would make a road trip myself. The only advantage for me would be the fact that it's halfway between Louisiana and the East Coast. Yeah. I bet their kitchen staff showed up high and hungover, just expecting another lazy Saturday in a depressed town, only to get slammed. Low key, though, you have to think, though, for them, they're like, oh shit, we actually have something going on today. And you gotta imagine, though, like, I mean, I've heard about this a lot of times with the meetups between, you know, the Kirk brothers and Paul and everything when they do their meetups. Like, there's always a sense of camaraderie, like, and kinship, you know. There's always, like, this sense of, like, kind of like a brotherly love type of thing, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so like, I feel like even all the neckbeards there will probably be like, hey, you know, we're all chill, we're all just trying to have this fun thing, you know. We understand y'all expect a lazy day, but hey, you know, it's all good, you know, keep up your work, you know, you obscure little worker. The only advantage for me, I read that part, but yeah, like it's definitely like I can imagine. I don't know how it all went. Like I'll have to see what they all say. You know, see what Paul and TJ and Scotty say, and see what other fans say. You know what they've been through. I should check out the Discord, see what they're saying. Funny thing, I don't even really use the Discord that often. I mean, I don't really use mine that much, just because it's only like 4 people there. There's a few pictures on Twitter. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter yet, but I'll have to, after this, I'll have to do my daily, like, pop in, see what's up, pop out, just to see if it's like, hey, what's going on, so I'll see it then. Man, I bet, like, you know, the people of Big Chief, though, were probably excited, and were like, oh, shit, look at this, we all got, like, popular big time on the mere fact that these guys did a show on us. Looked overcast and raining, a bunch of nerds and neckbeards, surprisingly more females than I expected. Surprisingly? Really? I feel like people, like, give, like, the idea that, like, females on the internet is kind of like a meme. I feel like people just, like, underscore, like, the female neckbeards, or, like, the female, you know, like, internet users. Like, you know, at that point, I'm just like, hey, you know, they're using it, like, chicks are using the internet and being a part of these communities just as much as, like, you know, we are. I mean, there might not be as much, sure, you know. I mean, you gotta give the demographics, you know, their due on that one. But, I mean, hey, they're still using that shit. So, for something like DFF's, females are certainly a small minority.
Okay, this better be important.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I mean, given the demographics, yeah. But, like, you know, they're still out there, and they're still, you know, out, you know, when they come out in force. I see it. I guarantee you, though, any females that were there were spoken for and brought by their boyfriends. Yeah, I guarantee you, though. There might have been 1 or 2, though, that might not have. Maybe 1 or 2. But chances are unlikely.
It's like, you better sit down. I'm sitting next to the payphone hanging on the strip wall. It's like black or dark brown.
that going on in one of the stories. Females are on the YouTube just watching makeup videos. Yeah, I kind of like get an idea of like what females on YouTube are watching just by like kind of checking out Ashley's Egos channel and seeing what she likes and stuff. I'm like, hey, what do you like? I probably shouldn't, but on one hand, I think I'm safe to do so because she's basically a weeb in anime and watches a lot of that, loves cute animals and stuff, and that kind of is what I see with other female channels on YouTube. So my assumption so far feels correct, you know, like, I mean, I feel like I can use her as a good base of like what the general consensus of what like females on YouTube are watching or, you know, doing. Not all of them. Like, there's some of them that are actually, you know, like basically watching the same shit as I am or whatever, or maybe just totally different stuff. And that's cool. It's actually pretty cool to see those type of chicks. I'm like, hey, right on. You got a little extra spunk, you know, a little variety in you. Cool. Don't know who you are. Probably never gonna meet you. Probably not even a damn woman. But whatever, you know.
Stop somewhere else and take a, you know, walk down by this park. Oh, we both. We both. No, this was Cody. We both did. And I'm just no, definitely. It was Cody. And
Let's do all of it. Fuck it. I can't imagine it would be fun to be a single girl at DFF. Me, all the men will be gunning for you. Just say you're taken. Just like at that point, I would be like, yeah, my boyfriend's just not here with me. I'm out here doing my own thing. Fuck you. You know, just like, if I was like, unless there's a dude out there I was eyeballing or something. If I was a chick and a single at one of these meetups, I would lie to everybody except for the dude I'm eyeballing. Like if I happen to be eyeballing anyone. But chances are I'm not. Because I'd be too infatuated over the fact that I'm seeing Scotty, TJ, and Paul in the very mere presence of me. So I would just be like, ah. Either moist or just bone. Like, bang. He'll be like, oh my god. After all, research show that 30% of young men over 1 out of every 4 can't find partners in cell age. Yeah. I mean, on one hand, I don't think it's just incel, like, being involuntary with it. I think, you know, I feel like some of it is just on the mere fact that for some people, they can't find anyone, really, just at all. Like, they're like, I just can't find anyone. Like, no one's interested in me, they don't give a fuck, or I'm not really that interested in them, or they're already taken, whatever the reason is, or they're not interested at all in relationship. You know, it's like, there's definitely a lot of reasons why that's there, for sure. And it's kind of curious that for women it's not as much, you know. But on one hand, I guess it kind of makes sense, but on another, it's just like they're all like they're still able to, you know, get some. Well, I guess for them, some, you know, some ping tang, I guess you can say. But for us, we can't really get too much poon tang. It's a little weird. Speaking of which, though, I found out there's one coworker who I guess gets around a lot. I'm sitting here just like, okay then. Someone has loose lips, I suppose. Interesting enough. I remember when I was at College of Charleston, one of the departments did study on student relationships, sex life. Majority of female student body was having regular intercourse and sexually active. Majority of male students were celibate.
No, maybe.
That's just really interesting. I guess a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that there's probably females having, you know, homosexual relationships and intercourse, which it's whatever. I mean, it's just kind of interesting that, you know, females are just still like, you know, oh yeah, we're doing our thing, but
got something to eat.
Yeah, it's just such a really weird thing, you know. Undoubtedly, many of those 30% are willingly celibate. However, many obviously aren't. It's triple the past decade. Yeah, like I don't know how much would be willingly versus unwillingly. Like for me, it's unwillingly. Like I got a couple friends with benefits, but even then, it's not often. It's just like, you know, every now and then, and even then, it's not much goes on in the first place. Like you know, I don't claim to have full on intercourse, and because I haven't, but you know, it's not like we haven't. It's not like, you know, me and my, you know, like benefited friend, you know, or don't try though, but you know, it's like whatever. I think the reason is simple: women are far more pickier in make selection than men. Yeah, that's probably true. Well, no, probably it just is, because naturally, even in the natural world of like in the wild, and in just like other species, you'll see that women and females all in different species, a broad different amount of species, are picking something, or I guess picking their mate. Always. Like when it comes to like, you know, goats or like horses or, you know, bulls, you know, buffalo, stuff like this, they the males are always fighting each other, and the females watch. They just sit there and watch them, and whoever wins the fight will be like, hey, I like your fighting prowess, fuck me. You know, it's pretty much how they operate. If there's no challenge, well, they're basically just going to be free reign to fuck. So sometimes they don't got a challenger because they all just kind of understand that that guy's the stud, you know. So yeah, you know, that just happens, you know, and it makes total sense that it would happen in humans too. So, you know, that and just men are just more disposable. Can't blame him. The average young man in modern America is not attractive. Yeah, I mean, I'm bi, and even I'm extremely fucking picky, dude. So I mean, I don't blame him. Like, I am super specific, you know, when it comes to, I guess, you know, the other end of the spectrum. But when it comes to just females, I'm a lot more open to just be like big booty, little booty, skinny, you know, skinny booty, fat booty, you know, little extra chunks, some fit booty, you know, some mildly procrastinating booty. I don't care. Think about it, tripled in 1 decade. Don't make me think about it. That's just gonna make me go on the nukes. It shows no sign of stopping, especially in the online dating age. I think a lot of it probably has to do with online dating. Like, think about like these things like Tinder and shit. Like Tinder, let's just think about it. It's probably meant more for females, because they're the ones who are probably going to be doing this, swiping to the right or the left. Men are probably are making accounts just to see if anyone hits them up, pretty much. You know, like if you're a dude on Tinder swiping right on some chick, don't expect, you know, a response unless they are like, all right, you're on my swipe right, you know, even for me too. If there's at least that, okay. But what's the chances of that? So at that point, you just have to just be lucky that some chick might be like, I don't care enough. I'm going to be drunk enough for this.
Yo, tell me about it.
Hypergamy is a sociological term for the female tendency to date upwards, so to speak, up to punch above their weight. This is increasing.
They take forever.
We're living in an interesting time. I think that's the one we can all agree with for sure. And all understand. We are living in an interesting time, because I just look at that and I'm like, that's interesting and like curious, but also a little, you know, it's really interesting, man. It's like, I don't really know what much to say about it besides just try to like delve more into that idea and just kind of pick at it sociologically.
The defeathered and cooked at the same time. They had that gassy, oily taste, but redneck was.
Sounds like a dude, so I think one of his friends, either like Brad John, I'm assuming. One of those two. It does sound like a chick on the phone though, so. It's not that weird lady that calls like every 4 or 6 months or whatever. That never shuts up. The last time she did, when I came home, I think it was while you were gone, and he was like begging me to like help him get off the phone.
I talked to Brad.
I can get on the phone very easily.
Yeah. It's not that hard. It's almost like I came in, and just the mere fact I'm like, yeah, just like say I need you for something, and I'm just like, yeah, I need you for something. Just say I need you for something, and I emphasize that I need you for something, you know, to kind of be like, you know, maybe she would hear that part a little bit, and just never did it. I'm just like, and I kind of wandered off for a second, you know, and made some food real quick, and came back, and it was still on the phone. I'm like, you had your opportunity, and I kind of came back, and I'm just like, I did the same thing. And then I just like come in here, start doing my thing, and then he finally was able to pop in here, and I'm like, hey, I need you for something. It's just like, all right, my son's been needing me for something real quick. I'm gonna have to call you, you know, just let you go, whatever. And it finally hangs up. It's like, you could have helped a little more. And I'm like, I gave you like 3 opportunities. I'm sitting here like, I gave you 3 opportunities. It was just like, oh my goodness. I mean, there's like someone at work who's like that though, so I understand that. It's just like, sometimes I have to be like, yeah, you know, just because it's like, you know, sometimes I don't even know what all to say to everything, because it's just like 20 million things are just thrown at you at once, you know, on a whole long, maybe not even a long conversation, but even so someone HG who will like make a long conversation combined into like 4 sentences. It's just like, holy shit. It's just like, okay, I have to process all that and have a conversation and do some work. It's like, oh my goodness. Whew. Man, have a conversation. The art of having a conversation is very interesting, because it's a game sometimes. It's like you have to like learn like specific mannerisms that people can have, and you know how to deal with those.
Active listening.
Yeah, that too. Like faux listening, and just like knowing how to like try to break out of a conversation, or knowing what's the best thing to say in a certain situation, you know, or how to get like something, you know, a point across, you know, properly without, you know, like something happening, you know, like someone getting mad, or like someone taking it the wrong way and misinterpreting what you said or something.
I did that for the most
You don't want to do this, or
shit before my wife died, probably about, you know, a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
talking to people and,
yeah.
Now get off.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, when I'm at work, it's not really that hard at all. You know, like there's regulars that are super chill, that, you know, I could just have a conversation and just be chill with, and there'll be like another regular coming up, and they'll, you know, it'll just be like, yeah, oh, well, that must be another regular. Oh, well, we're all just whatever, yeah.
And you have the one that is, and you basically is an asshole.
And I had one today actually. So there's this. So this was around like. So it was 8 o'clock, and I had the fires off, and this one lady was asking about some jokes and wouldn't go away. So one of my coworkers comes back and says, like, "Hey, this lady's trying to ask about jokes or whatever, and won't go away. Do we have we're saying there's one more back there?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I have the fires off already." She's like, "All right, well, can you try to explain that to her, because she's not getting, you know, she's not understanding it." So I go out there, and I'm like, she's like, so I already had a more back jokes. I'm like, yeah, we do, but unfortunately my fires are off because I'm about getting ready to clean them. She's like, what? Wait, what? She's just like, wait, excuse me, what? Like that was a blasphemous thing for me to have said. I could just tell in her face that just like somehow shocked her. It's just like, what? And then I repeat it again. I'm like, our fires are off because I have to go, because they were getting ready for cleaning, and because the oil needs to cool down. And to turn one of them back on, it'd probably be about 10 to 20 minutes. I'm elaborating at this point. And it takes about 6 to 7 minutes for the JoJo's, so it would be a little while before I can get some more down if you want to wait. And she's like, what? At this point, I'm just like, you're definitely fucking with me. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, it's going to be a little bit before I get some more Joes out. At this point, I just plopped it all in one simple thing. And she just kind of sat there, like, kind of looked a little bit like this, like, straight up, like, good luck with your career. And she's this tiny little shrimp bitch, too. Okay, I'm being serious. She had the weird bob cut God complex hair, too. It's always these type of motherfuckers, too. These, like, little women with these God complex bob cuts. Usually blonde. She wasn't a blonde, she was a brunette, and so she was a little bit more passive, I think, because of this. And she's like, good luck with your career, and walked off, just with this, like, smug, like, yep, I just did that. I'm just looking at her like, what? I'm just like, everything you were trying to do was try to condescend and be, like, ridiculing against me, but you just basically like had a backhand compliment. Like that's what I looked at that as. Like, I mean, I just started laughing about that later as I thought about it more, because it's like I'm literally just doing my job properly. In fact, a little earlier, and well, not earlier, but I'm able to get to it a lot earlier because of how slow it is, you know, than I'm normally able to. So, thank you. Yeah, good luck with my career. Thanks. I'm doing exactly what I should be doing and doing it efficiently. Yeah. It's not my fault you're a cunt, so fuck you. I'm just like, looked at her like, whatever. Initially, I was just like, well, fuck you. But after a while, I just thought about it, I'm like, it was like, she just didn't understand anything. She was just being a bitch. I literally was not in the wrong at all. Why am I freaking out over? You know, after a while, I just laughed about it because it was like hilarious. It's like, she just basically was just someone who just felt entitled over Joe's. It's so minor, and oh man, I'm so glad I don't get those people often. And usually, whenever they do come in, I'm able to find a way to make them feel good before that part of them comes out. But oh man, when people come out like that, it's just like, oh my god, like, don't you feel like, you know, you're the emperor deity and arbiter of like what's, you know, what's, you know, like efficient and what's not or whatever. It's like, go away. It's just like, no, I don't want you. But she was funny, honestly. I just laugh about her now. She's not even someone that angered me. Like, the last customer that actually angered me was that dude who I was trying to make a wrap for. And I was just asking him the basic questions, you know, do you want, you know, a spicy tenders or regular tenders for your chicken wrap, or do you want ranch, and do you want anything else on top of that? And he was getting confused and angered, and he's like, and then he went over to the other coworker helping someone else. He's like, is he on drugs? I'm looking at him like, are you an idiot? Like, I'm literally, like, that's the only time I was like, are you an idiot? And like, was actually genuinely like pissed off. But this time I was just laughing. It was just funny. I was like, what the hell? You're just dumb. I just thought about her. I'm just like, you're just dumb. You're just dumb. I'm surprised she didn't go off and complain, because I was hoping that maybe like one of my PICs, who I'm really, you know, close with and know about, like, would come over and I could tell her about the story and just, you know, have a good laugh with her or whatever. But unfortunately, that never happened. So I was just like, damn, I couldn't get to that funny story with her. But I'll find him tomorrow and tell about it, because it's just funny to me. The story's funny to me now. What all is your position? I mean, at this point, you know, just like a regular, you know, like, I'm like just, you know, a clerk, but I mean, I'm kind of like a head clerk, essentially. Like, I'm not like a manager, but like everyone kind of looks up to me in a sense. You gotta lay down the law of a customer. When the equipment's turned off, it's off. Yeah, that's kind of what I was implying with her, and I'm just like, hey, it's the time of the night where we're like, the shit's gotta be off, and we gotta clean it up and everything. Do I register? No. Though there was a point of the day where I had like 10 people at my register, which was absurd. So there was like a little 10-minute period of me being like a register clerk. But that wasn't because of anything intentional. I never deal with customers other than the bar. Well, that's awesome. Hey, like, I envy you, dude. Like, on some level, I'm getting kind of done with the whole customer service thing. I'm ready to take a break from it. Not because I hate it, but because it's like, it's whenever I do get those assholes, or I do get those people who are just like, come on, like, let me do my position. I'll try to help you as best I can, but I can't, like, help you, you know, with this specific thing. I will try to help you in another way. But, you know, it's just like, some people just are not workable, you know? You just can't work with them. There's even some dude earlier who wanted to buy, like, some milk or something after our till was gone, and he was really persistent on it. And eventually I think he just gave up and just tried to walk out with the milk. I'm just like, dude, I literally told you, you just have to go for the other lines, because unfortunately our till is closed. So you just wait 5 minutes. It's alright. I mean, it's at the end of the day. Like, the tills, besides the front ones, are all going to be pulled. You know, what can I do? But luckily, I don't really got to deal with that too often. I mean,
it was pretty funny. We all got past that. We just started laughing. We all started laughing.
Safeway.
Like, oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They just sit there rubbing our foreheads.
It's all right. I mean, there's like there's good and bad about Safeway. That much I could definitely say. And there's a lot like. Is that the only grocery store chain? No, there's Walmart, there's Albertsons, there's New Seasons, there's Whole Foods, there's Winco, there's what else is there? There's I think that's all of them. Minus like your obscure like mom and pop grocery. We have one or two of those around here. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, we got at least like maybe 5 or 6, and all of them are basically big corporate brands. Like there's a Walmart nearby, off of McLaughlin or some shit, where it's literally a grocery store and that's it. Like there's a grocery store specific Walmart, which is like, what the fuck?
They do have your drugs and your cosmetics and stuff and everything.
Yeah, basically just like, you know, what like a Safeway has, like the drugs, cosmetics, because we have a pharmacy too, and we got a lot of cosmetic stuff as well. So it's basically, yeah, a grocery store. It's a Walmart grocery store, basically. You know?
It's huge, too.
Yeah. This country's retarded. I don't disagree.
I work there.
Oh, at that one? The grocery one?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, imagine it being pretty big. It looks big. Definitely looks like... I mean, because it's basically meant to be like that region's store, like, because it's a food desert out there. And when it comes to at least groceries and stuff, like you can get like various different restaurants and stuff that, and like half of them are, I would say, are actually pretty good, and the other half aren't. Like, and the other half is basically like unhealthy shit. But besides that, there's like 1 or 2 grocery markets, and one of them's that big Walmart one. Did you have a good 420? I mean, besides that cunt that came in earlier, yeah. I mean, pretty much, you know. Besides that one bitch trying to undermine my job for some reason earlier, being like, have a good career or whatever the fuck she said, which was hilarious. Like, I still find her funny. I guess honestly she made it even better. So honestly, I'll give her that, I guess. She had to be like 4 feet, dude. She had to have been like a 4-foot little shrimp. She was like a little shrimp pop. Like, it was absurd. Oh shit, Stefan, what it do, dude? Pop it in. Happy 420, as Carl's asking if I had a good 420. I did. You know, besides the fact I was working, I had a pretty good 420. Drunk as fuck right now? Hell yeah, dude. Was this the Friday? Yeah. When they were off and a lady wanted JoJo's, and I kept trying to tell her they were off. It's just like, it will take some time to have one of them turn on to get heated back up to temperature to cook something. And to cook JoJo's takes about 6 to 7 minutes, give or take. So, think about like 20 to 25 minutes just for how... I don't even know how many fucking Joes. I didn't even know how many she wanted. Did she want 3 pounds? 2 pounds? Like a handful? I didn't know. I just knew that she wanted Joe's and that was about it. And I'm just like, well... Like, honestly, I really don't want to go for this effort, so, I mean, I could try to substitute something for you. I was about to get to that point, but she decided to be a little cunt muffin after that, and I'm just like, well, whatever then. Fine, be that way. Probably gonna have a major little knip fit, you know, to the family, and I have to hear your agonizing fucking tantrum fit. Didn't realize Walmart is so fucking cheap. I got 2 extra large beers, a burrito, and a pie for $7. Oh my god. Let's refer to Carl's comment above. This country retarded. Yep, there we go. I refer to that one.
Yeah, you think about it, you just...
I mean, think about it.
Yeah, you're the old man. You're a born.
That's how you control the whole market. Make it cheap as fuck so people buy it.
So you're the old one.
Then the other ones that are actually somewhat quality go out of business because they're not getting that profit anymore, because you're not getting that consumer base anymore, because people are going to the cheaper version. That's how Walmart makes its buck. It literally absorbs the competition. And sometimes they're so fucked that they'll literally build a store in the competition's place. It's like, yeah, we just beat you. Now we're going to build a store right on top of where you used to be. Just to burn that wound a little more. It's like, oh, nice.
Not much.
It's just like, oh my god.
Oh, hopefully.
Like, I know Walmart's cheap, but I just try not to go there, even for clothes. Like, I go to Ross, because that's even cheaper. Apparently, the building Bernie has to rally could seat only 150 people. What the hell? Like, well, kind of lame, but whatever. I mean, if that's all he could book, it's all he could book. Come back again, you know? Like Bernie only came, like, last time there in the 2016 election, Bernie only came to Portland twice. But that's fine, because he doesn't need to come to Portland. Like, he pretty much has Oregon on lockdown. Like, even in the primaries, I think Oregon went to Bernie. But, like, for these, like, the Southern Belt and, like, you know, and, like, the Midwest, he should visit these places, like, 5 times, you know, before 2020. Like, I mean, you should make a major effort to visit the Midwest and the South to get his message out there. Especially, you know, right in front of the people, too. Like, I mean, it's never been to the state before. Nice. Well, maybe that's saying something. Now that he actually has the infrastructure to visit, like, all these different states that he hasn't able to before, that should probably at least give a sign that, hey, you know, you ain't fucking around, bro. Like, he actually is he is definitely determined for this. And I even remember, like, even at the very beginning, like, in 2015, in his very opening speech, he's like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm doing this because I actually give a shit. It's like, if things weren't so fucked, I wouldn't be doing this. The fact that there was a fuck ton of people trying to get in was a good sign. Yeah. Like, I guarantee you that a quarter, let's be pretty liberal with it. 25% of those people are probably not supporters. They're just going in there just to see what he has to say. They're like, you know, he's coming to my town. Why not? Let's see what he has to say. You know, I'm open to his idea. You know, let's see what he has to say. You know, so it's just like, I guarantee that's probably the case. I'm probably, you know, maybe half of them are Trump supporters too, because I know there was a lot of people who were Bernie supporters who voted for Trump in 2016 on the mere fact they didn't want Hillary. And you know what? Don't blame them. I don't blame them.
My granddad.
I mean, I disagree with that specific decision, but whatever. You know, I don't blame them, and I totally understand that position. And hey, you know, I contemplated that idea too. So I mean, it makes sense and it's totally understandable. Got searched by police, but they didn't investigate the vape. Got in line, but was unable to get in. Damn. Yeah, I can imagine they having security there. Like at the rally I was able to get into, the major security that they had was just basically just searching bags outside if you had a bag. And then just a quick little boop, 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 you're good. That was it. There was this one thing, the old in his 50s who had his cell phone out and was throwing weak-ass insults at the crowd. His wife was trying to get him to leave, embarrassed. I guarantee you that guy was trying to get, like, likes and retweets on Twitter or some shit, dude. That guy just wanted some, you know, acknowledgement from his little buddies on social media. And his wife was like, I don't want this. Why? I just wanted to come here to, you know, maybe, like, talk to some of these people, but you're just being an idiot. I bet you guys expect a restaurant next door to give you a free meal, huh? That's not how that works. Like, I love these, like, presuppositions that, like, if Bernie gets elected, that suddenly, like, everything's free. It's like, no, that's not how, like, things work. Like, socialism, like, even that idea itself doesn't give you, like, a free, like, meal at a restaurant. Like, restaurants can still exist, and they still gotta have some money to run and operate, so they still, like, you still gotta pay for a fucking meal. Like, That's not how things work. Go to a soup kitchen if you want a free meal. Like, you can go to those. Like, I've been to one of those. I mean, they're not that bad. You know, they're actually pretty legit sometimes. Like, they actually can have, like, some days, you know, they just don't really got much, but some days they got some good shit, and it's like a pretty nice meal. It's like, all right, right on. It's pretty cool. Like, it goes back when, you know, like, when a couple of my friends are homeless, and I would visit them there and just be like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm a little hungry. Why not? I have a little food. Just, you know, talk with some people. Hear some people's stories and stuff. I mean, you know, and a lot of people there are literally just pretty much, you know, on the mere fact that they're just fell on downtrodden times and are trying to get out. A lot of those people there were for that very reason. You know, and why is that such a bad thing? Like, on the idea that, oh, I bet you guys expect a restaurant next door to give a free meal. Like, I don't expect a restaurant to do that. But on some level, I think, I shit you not, he was the only guy I saw trying to start shit. Oh my god, dude. The one and only protester, am I right? The one and only protester. I am the one single protester against this movement. Don't you look very smart, and don't you look like, you know, such an outstanding hero to everybody around you. Don't you look like the champion of, like, what your community is interested in. It's absurd, dude. Like, if he had at least, like, 30 people, maybe, like, you know, also doing, like, some minor protests of their own on top of that, I can be like, alright, well, you know, you actually got, you know, there seems to be a little bit of, you know, some interesting political conflict in the community, but if he's literally the only guy, I guarantee, at this point, it just shows that most people really don't give a fuck about labeling and politics. They give a shit about substance, and if someone actually is trying to talk about policy that's actually going to try to change how their life is and for the better. Even it was just like he just got back from the golf course. He probably was like, came back from the golf course, heard this was happening, and came out to do this. Brought his wife along to think, you know, because she might like it for some reason. I don't know why. Or maybe he was with her or maybe she was with him going golfing or whatever. And they're going to go back. And I guarantee you they went back golfing after that and told all of his little buddies on the golf course. It's like, here's some video, guys. I guarantee you he took a break from golfing to do this and went back to golfing. Country club, don't raise my taxes, not in my backyard. And the funny thing is, like, I've actually, like, thought about going actually to one of these local country clubs. I have one that's very local, but it's very open. It's pretty open to the public. Like, they're still kind of particular about you know, membership, but, you know, they're pretty loose about it. They're like, you know, I mean, this is just kind of more of a community country club, you know, as long as it just kind of fit the criteria, which is basically like, you know, just basically just dress nice and know the rules and follow them. And that's pretty much it, you know? And the dress nice, like, the policy is just like, don't, like, I mean, well, even what I'm wearing is actually not bad. Like, the leather jacket's probably questionable to them, but as long as I have a nice dress shirt and just, like, nice pair of jeans or slacks, that's it. That's all they care about. And also, I think a certain type of shoe for the green and stuff. I think you need a type of shoe if you want it, or I think they also have them as well. It's like you have to have a certain shoe out. But other than that, it is also, even just for public use, it's pretty cheap. So I can imagine a membership not being that expensive. Because I actually want to try to get into golfing more, to try to have an activity for myself to do and go out. Like, actually, you know, during the summer and spring at least, you know, go golfing and stuff. I bet Kyle will cuck that asshole into the drive. Now watch this drive. You know, I'm just imagining like that George Bush thing of him talking about terrorism and out of nowhere it's like, now watch this drive, because he's in the middle of a fucking golf course. Low key, dude. Like, on some level, I feel like Bush was more savage than Trump. I feel like the Bush presidency was more savage. Because that's just savage, bro. Just talking about how, like, we need to have freedom and stuff, and then now watch this drive, and just casually is playing golf. Like, if you see Trump golf, it's just honestly unpleasant. It's just like, oh my god, dude. Ugh, you can see his fat, chunky ass. Like, it's got some, like, chunk. Like, his booty, Like, dude, his booty is like straight up like a black booty, but it's like Trump. It's just like, oh my goodness. It's like, what the hell is going on there? And oh man, that gut of his, holy shit. Holy shit, that gut is absurd. It's like, whoa, dude, that shirt is barely protecting those A cups, you know, on top of that, man. Like, oh. And he wears his suits, and it looks like a beer keg in a suit. It's like, oh, jeez. Man. Man, it's just like, wow. Man. I think Taft actually has a run for his money. Like, damn. How much would someone have to pay you to get you to fuck Trump? Literally, like, that, no. Just no. If no one else would ever know. No, I don't even care. I have too much, like, integrity for myself, dude. I have to, no. It'd be like I'd basically, like, it would be like the equivalent of, like, going up to Jabba and be like, I want to get laying down on that. It's like, no, dude. Just no. Everyone has a price, no. Just no. The price is one bullet when I'm done to my head. How about that? There's my price. Like, like as long as I can just, like, die an honorable death. How about that? That's my price. I have an honorable seppuku. I commit honorable seppuku. Whilst under the guillotine, while biting down on cyanide, whilst being aimed down by a firing squad. Like, I want, like, the whole 9 yards.
Hey, my son can get that about it then.
I'm being mentioned now in the background. To be fair, y'all were kind of loud there too for a minute. I'm just throwing it back. No harm, no foul. But yeah, oh my goodness. I couldn't though. I just couldn't. Dude, I'm sorry. No. There's no price. There's no price high enough. Like, the world's wealth 5 times over would not be enough, dude. No. I can't. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. People get mad whenever elder was insulted. What about white elders? I'm the guy who doesn't care either way. Like, I mean, yeah, he's an elder, but yeah, there's also white elders, there's black elders. Like, I mean, there's elders of all, because humans have elders, you know? It's just like, it's a given. Just, yeah, so it's just like, I think the main reason, I guess, why, like, when we see, like, a Native American elder, we think more of, like, the idea of, like, they're, you know, like, have a more higher position besides just, you know, their age. Like, there's a position, you know, in a title with that, you know, on, like, a Native American, you know, culture compared, you know, to, like, others. I mean, I think that's just me making a guess of, like, why people can be kind of like, this guy was actually, you know, because it's like, hey, this guy is actually, you know, on some level revered or whatever, and hence why, you know, he has kind of like a title as like an elder of a sorts. But for me, it's just like, okay. I mean, either way, I mean, I feel like we can give that very same thing to other old people of any other race too, because I think it's a universal title. I mean, either that's why I don't freak out over it. Trump is a white elder. To some people, to me, he's a retard. Some people, they revere him more than just an elder. They revere, like, some people literally revere him as, like, the prophet of fucking God. Like, hand-picked. Like, God literally, like, came down from the heavens and hand-picked him. Elders are retards.
Pretty much look the same I always have. Yeah, I still have
Like,
hair.
oh my god. Wow, man, I can imagine Joe popping in here later and be like, what the fuck? What the hell? Fuck. Because, I mean, on, like, to some level, I don't disagree, but on some level, I also do agree. Because it's like, or I also do disagree. Because it's like, yeah, there are definitely people, even up to their old age, who are just, you know, retarded. But there's also people who are elders who are absolutely wise and smart as fuck. Like, think Neil deGrasse Tyson, Richard Dawkins, or Albert Einstein. Like, or these various different, like, elders, essentially, who are wise and smart and intellectual as fuck, you know?
Or trying to, on some cases.
Oh, Bandito.
Oh, we used to fight
Hey,
all
buddy
the time.
boy, you're such a you're just a little beastlet. You're just a little beastlet. You're so precious, just you is. Yeah. Who's a good boy? Who's just a sweet boy? Hey, buddy. Want to come here? Oh, you want to be on my lap, don't you? Yeah. Oh, hey, buddy boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, buddy, hopping on my lap, want some love. Oh my goodness. He's a pretty boy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he lived just down the street from me, if I recall. Yeah, he was a friend of mine.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Oh my goodness. I could just like manhandle this cat. I can just like grip all around him and just like fluff him up everywhere, and he just loves it though. You just love it. So all of this, don't you? Yeah. Just love getting manhandled. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
West Iowa's a bitch, yeah. I went to Iowa State, which is a really good school. You know, for college.
All this fur off. I'm helping him shed a little bit though.
Shit is easier than what I
He's
went through in
he's
high
getting
school.
comfortable. It's like, I'm comfortable now.
I'm just like, really? You serious? This is college stuff? This is easier than high school. Shit. You
Just
gotta
plops.
be kidding me.
He just like plopped. I gave enough pressure petting him, he just plopped to it.
Screw that. I'm just gonna party.
Oh, and just a sweet buddy. Just a sweet little buddy. Imagine Donald Trump fucking Hillary. Ah! No! Thank you. No, thank you. Wasn't there a porno from the 1990s? Okay, so Donald Trump has been featured in porns, but he never actually fucked in porns. He just basically was featured in them to, you know, have, like, some money out of it.
Hey, hey, don't put down Iowa State. The computer wasn't invented there, and we were still using that computer to teach everyone with.
They're having a rivalry on, like, the first computers and shit, and how Iowa State didn't have the first one, I guess. He's been in Playboy, that's about it. Yeah, pretty much. It was basically like some, you know, cameos in Playboy porns.
And Gilman Hall.
Oh my goodness, your tail's all flopped around.
The science building. They blew that up.
Blew it up, oh my god.
Back in the 40s because it was part of the Manhattan Project.
Ooh.
In fact, you can get a T-shirt there, a souvenir T-shirt. It says Gilman is radioactive.
Oh, Bandito. Such a pretty boy. This cat. This cat, man. I have to, like, look at this.
Not at Iowa State. They had
It's right here, just enjoying himself.
Under stadium in, I think it was like Detroit or Cleveland or something like that.
This cat is just absurd.
Yeah, they
Bet Rachel
blew that
Maddow
up, too.
his extensive Trump porn collection. I bet
They
she
didn't-
does.
They didn't have good luck with
Even,
it.
like, you know, porns that are supposed to mimic
Well,
Trump
they're
and
trying
aren't
to
Trump.
figure out how much does it take to blow up? Well, add a little bit more, add a little bit more.
Oh
a little
my
bit
goodness,
more.
you just
Oh,
love this, don't you?
Okay,
Yes, you
that's how
do.
much it takes.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, he
Yeah,
just
that-
loves
that's
his
pretty
chest just
much
rubbed down.
what they were doing.
Oh my goodness. Just, oh my goodness. He's just in bliss mode, dude. Oh. What an absurd little beast. What a cougar, dude. Face of a lion, the body of a fat-ass cougar. Oh my god. He's slowly like flopping. Come on, dude. Don't flop off. Ugh. There you go, buddy.
Nothing.
There's his head. I was like, where's his head?
It got quiet, and then suddenly I'm like in the middle.
Goofball.
Andrew say something. I'm just like, what the hell is that?
I'm talking to the cat like an insane person.
It's just a random line, you know, when I'm not listening.
Out of context.
It got quiet for a second. I'm listening to him. Just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Just out of context coming in randomly on a conversation like, what the fuck?
I'm sure
Taken out of context, yeah. It's funny. Just talking about how Bandit has the face of a lion and the body of a fat cougar.
You know, the situations when someone else is talking in the background, you're not really listening to them. Or you're in the room, like, cooking dinner or whatever, they're talking on the phone, and then suddenly out of conversation. You just lose your concentration, and you're just like, what's this person saying? You hear him say something, and it's just like, what the hell was that? What the fuck are you talking about? Jeez.
I love those. That's why I love listening into conversations of random people, because I'll be hearing random shit of random people's lives. It's just kind of funny. It's just like, wow.
Talking or paying attention to Andrew at all, but suddenly it got quiet, so my ears automatically
switched over to me.
And he was talking, on his phone too. And
played Naval Forces lately? Not lately. Actually, I haven't really played War Thunder lately. Oh, little bandito. Did you get the munchies because I blew smoke in your face?
What the fuck are you talking about?
He like sniffed my chocolate and he's like, I don't like this, and just ran off. He's trying to hunt for food, dude. Oh my god, this cat has the munchies. Bruh. Oh, you see her shit now? Hey, buddy. Are you trying to figure out what to do now? You're like, what am I doing? I'm gonna go over here now. He's like, do I want to yawn? I'm gonna yawn now. Hey, buddy. So cute. So cute.
Yeah, I used to get Andrew that way a number of times. Just like...
He's like, I'm gonna just go over here. I don't know what I was trying to do over here, but I'm going over here. Oh, man, he's kind of funny.
And try to get away with it.
Bandit doesn't need any, like, just one little blow in the face is like, he's good. It's like, alright, he's gonna be, like, having a little goof moment. Like, what am I doing now? It's gonna be over here and just chill.
I tried the same stuff.
But he instantly went to food. I love it, though. He's like, I'm kind of hungry now. It's funny. Dumb animals. He's not dumb. He's just, it's like, I'm just kind of like assuming what he's probably thinking. Oh, now he's coming back over here. And he's going to the food over there where he normally eats.
It's just like
Dumb animal compilations are pretty cool. They can be pretty amusing, yeah. There's
well, it's real hard with mom there.
There was this one random little video I saw. What was it? It was this fucking. Why am I blanking on it? It was, I mean, it was a little bit ago, but it wasn't too long ago. It was like a quick little thing that I saw for a second. Oh, I remember. It was there's this person who was trying to do a video of, you know, like a jockey or whatever for their for like horse racing, and they were trying to have their horse, you know, just jump, you know, over their little things. And for one of them, I guess they were just slightly too high, And they're just kind of casually galloping or whatever, just I guess getting the horse kind of warmed up, and it literally just like bumped into the things, and it just like flopped over, and it just stopped and just stood there, and the lady just kind of kept going like. It just kind of flopped over and just kind of did a little barrel roll on the ground, and she just kind of sat up like, what the fuck? Just like, why did the horse stop? Why did you stop? It's like you were supposed to jump over it. Or just run through it, I guess, like you were attempting for some reason. And just kind of just sat there, just kind of staring, and just started eating some of the grass, just like, yeah, I just didn't want to jump over this. I'm not going to. I'm hungry. He just started eating grass, and it was just like, what? I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
This horse was a goofball. Like, what the fuck was it doing? It's just like, what are you doing? Like, you were supposed to do a little hibbity hop, just like a. I love how Bandit's just right there now in the background. For Women's Day, the zoo in my town had an exhibit about female animals. That's pretty cool. That's awesome, actually. Like, I remember there's this one day, I think, I think it was, I forgot which day, but, they had this little event on, at the time we had meerkats, this little exhibit for, meerkats, and then, I was just like, alright, and there was a little exhibit going on, they were talking about it. And at the time, they were especially my favorite animal. And they still are. I mean, they're awesome. I love meerkats. They're cool. And I forgot what they were talking about, but I think they were talking about, like, about the female meerkats specifically and how much of a role they play primarily in their little colonies and stuff. And, how essentially, like, colonies a lot of them are based off of, like, the female alpha, essentially. And how, there's a specific, kind of a hierarchy system within a, meerkat, little colonies and stuff, little packs, which is really cool. It's so fascinating to learn. It was just like, meerkats are awesome. I don't know if anyone have heard the show, but on Animal Planet, they used to have it. It's called Meerkat Manor, and I used to watch that shit all the time. That was my shit when it was going on. But I guess if after a while, one of them died, the main meerkat they were studying, and eventually that one died due to a snake bite, and which naturally happens, unfortunately, and shit. But at the time, I was just like, no, what the fuck? I remember Meerkat Manor. Yeah, it was like my favorite shit at the time, dude. And this is months ago. For the females thing, yeah. And Women's Day was a while ago, but I didn't even remember when. I just knew it was a while ago. But they were, for the whole exhibit, they were just like talking about mainly, the whole thing about females, and meerkats and stuff. And it's just like, that's awesome because they really do. Like, because, especially I really picked this up watching the show, and I actually have the book, too. There's a book made by the same guy. After the whole show was done, he kind of condensed it all in his book into, like, a memoir of his account of the whole scenario and stuff, which is awesome, and I still got it. And, it taught me a lot about them, because, like, they're for most part they're actually vicious little bastards, to be honest. Like, when they happen to be near like warring tribes of other meerkats and the various likes, they will just be absolutely like merciless, dude. They are callous little bastards. They'll just like go all out. Like, if they'll like rip each other to shreds. And when they go out on our little hunting parties, it's really cool to watch them, because it's like they dig into the dirt and try to find little larvae, bugs, insects, lizards, even spiders, scorpions. They find all sorts of different various little things to find. And how they hunt scorpions is they'll bite off the tail first, and then after that they start going ham down and start chowing down on that type of shit, which is awesome. It's cool. Like, they are aware of the dangers of the stinger, and they'll literally just go rip that shit off and just chow down on that shit, bring it back home. It's pretty cool.
No, my
Females,
dad,
humans
my,
tend to read
my
nothing
dad
but Harry
was
Potter
a-
books. I've noticed this.
My dad was.
I guess it's not
physical
necessarily a bad
dictionary.
thing, but
He was, but not.
they need to expand their library a little bit.
She,
Buddy boy.
She was
pretty. Are you going down now? Are you sitting
rolling.
Or are you gonna go jump off? You cunt! You were so cute
She
sitting over
was
there.
rolling on her own, and he was just. I mean, not
Sitting in the corner like a little
nothing,
boy.
Nothing to make bruises or like physically move. her.
Women like Harry Potter
Just, like,
because it's a
kicking
children's
her.
book.
And she was physically rolling.
I mean, it's a
You know,
cool
what I'm saying?
fucking, you know, like the whole Harry Potter saga.
Oh, he's-
Well, not really. Like, you know, the whole thing is just really cool. You know, overall.
Yeah, back in the day, my dad got
The books are cool.
when
Yeah,
I
exactly. Like, there's actually, you know, there's a lot. There's, you know, there's a reason why, you know, there even like adults will read it too. I mean, yeah, it is at the end of the day a children's book, but you know, it's like one of those children's books where even adults are able to read because there's a lot, you know, there's even some shit that, you know, you can kind of delve into different little meanings that even children might not be able to understand yet. Kind of like how cartoons do the very same thing, like with like Courage the Cowardly Dog, or you know, or what's another cartoon that had a lot of philosophy delved into it. Well, there's another one. There was like Ed and Eddie had it a little bit too, and even SpongeBob to some extent, even though a lot of it's just mostly about jokes, you know, that adults can get, but you know, kids can't quite yet. But Pinky and the Brain too, to a lot of extents, you know, like there's different cartoons and stuff that adults are able to watch, you know, primarily for kids. But there's things that adults can pick up on and you know actually have some deep thought about. Be like, damn, I didn't pick this up as a kid, but shit, this is cool.
I managed to. I swiped the keys. I took the car and I took off. And, well, I was
Like every now and then I'll still watch old cartoons and stuff just because like there are different things I can kind of pick out of them. Like, damn, whoa, you know, just be like, damn, that's thought provoking. There's a recent psychology magazine article I read. Apparently, female humans are far more likely to be hydrophobic, dislike fear of water, being submerged / wet. Really?
Well,
That's kind of interesting. I wonder why that is.
With that car, I would have made it
Like-
because I could have punched it and been out of it.
That's weird. I'm actually really, huh?
Which I don't know.
What would be
why,
the reasons? Like, is there any specific reason why it's female specifically, or is there not really much of a like an actual known cause or anything like that? It's kind of that's interesting to me, huh? Because like with phobia, it's like that. There's a lot of various different reasons why people have phobias that are very understandable to trace into, and like with hydrophobia, and I don't get it because I honestly love water.
We had a whole
So I
paint
mean,
shop full of paraphernalia.
if you go to a pool, the men are in the water and the women are sitting in the chairs reading Harry Potter books or mobile devices. I don't necessarily think that's because they have a fear of water. I think that's just because they are less likely to want to be active and, you know, exerting energy, and would rather, you know, look more into their cosmetic looks, so they'll rather go, you know, sunbathe and, you know, read a book or something. Whether it be Harry Potter or anything else, I don't know, you know. Female dogs don't tend to fear water as much as males. See, I think that's just because it's not. I don't think it's because maybe female humans have more likelihood of being hydrophobic. I think it's just because they naturally are interested, you know. Because, well, the thing is, here in Portland, I see a lot of women in the water just as much as men. So I can't really say for certain on that. I mean, like, definitely there are a lot of chicks and dudes too out, but mostly chicks that will just be, you know, on the beach just sunning themselves. But at some point, I see them get in the water when I'm doing the same thing, going out swimming, chilling out, sunning myself in the beach or whatever. We all basically doing the same type of stuff, you know, when we're going out. It's just women tend to sun themselves a lot more than men would. You know, like, there's times after I'm going swimming and stuff and I'm exhausted and, you know, want to smoke a bowl or two while, you know, chilling on, you listening to music, having a tiny little fire going on, and just, like, sit there and sun for a minute, you know, I'll do that. But, there'll be, after a while, I'll just go right back in the water again. Usually that's what we end up doing. No, I don't know if Stefan's still in here, but he can contest to this as well. Like, I mean, this is what, during summers, whenever we go, whenever we're all able to get together, we'll go by the river and just do this very same thing. So, I mean, again, it's just an adult experience I'm coming with, so, yeah, I mean, the reason why I just bring it up is just because, I'm in such a dense area as Portland, so, like, I feel like there's enough, I feel like it's substantive enough to at least, point out in the discussion, at least, because they're, with a very dense area as Portland, and growing, too, taking out of the conversation, whatever feelings you have on that, there's a lot more people, so there's a lot more for me to observe as a point as, like what's going on. So, I mean, I don't really see that as much. I mean, I do see them not really go in the water as often, but they do. For the ones I see, at least, from my anecdotal experience. So, I mean, it's interesting, and it's interesting enough for me to want to look into and kind of see what they say on the what their evidence is. Which, I mean, and considering some of it here, that makes sense, but I don't think it's necessarily due to hydrophobia. I mean, I think it's just due to, like, maybe unknowingly or knowingly, just not wanting to be in the water as often. Like, some days I'm not whenever we're going out and kicking it, I don't want to be in the water as often as they all are. Sometimes I just kind of want to chill, but, I'll still dress to go swim, because I'll go in for a little bit at least, but, not off, not too much, so. I don't know. It's just a little, I feel like there's just, maybe it just is different depending on the place. I mean, or, like, just depending on the location and the environment, it could just be different, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Like, I mean, I can only speak, for me at least on this, I can only really speak, for at least for this case, but whatever. I was joking about the reason why they're in the water less. They probably just don't want to. Yeah, like I'm just mentioning. Though if you are talking about the whole Psychology Magazine thing as actual, that part I'm actually definitely interested to kind of figure out. God dang it, come on. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Streamlabs is just not wanting to be smart right now. There we go. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think there's been 1 or 2 times where I've brought a book and read it. I got a splinter in here too, which is annoying me. Where is it? I can't even tell right now. I found it. Get out. Is it out? I don't think I got it out. Oh, no, I got it out. Okay. I'm good.
You a splinter or what?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think I did. I don't really feel it anymore besides the mild irritation now. It used to be like, it's just kind of stinging me and really irritating, but now it's just like, it's slight irritation from when it wants in there. I wonder what the next state to legalize will be. I wonder that too. That'll be kind of interesting to see which ones are pushing it this election cycle. CBD products are apparently now legal in all the United States. I've noticed this. Carl's Jr. is pushing out CBD burger in Denver. Why they're not doing it in Portland, I don't know. But, dude, a weed burger, a CBD burger. Just imagine that, Robert. A CBD burger. Just, like, oh my God, oh man, am I, like, will this break me to get fast food again? Will this break me? I think Carl's Jr. will break me if they put this, like, in, like, legal statewide. If they're like, if the Carl's Jr. down here is eventually, like, gonna put CBD burgers and shit like that, oh my God, I think I might break. Because I haven't had fast food in, like, years. So, oh my God, oh man. That might break me, dude. I might just go full-fledged and just, like, go, oh man, oh no. I'm gonna have to, like, have a strict regimen or some shit about this if I'm gonna do that. Like, alright, have super healthy shit before I go there, have this, down a bunch of water, have a nice healthy Cliff Bar or something like that, I don't know. You know, just like something, and then just, like, have a meal at the end, I don't know. Like, I'll have to plan something out if I do that. I have to, like, dilute the greasy fast foodness with goodness on top of the CBD. Like, I have to do something. Oh my goodness, because I'm definitely going to want to get that stuff. I've tried CBD flower. I have too. It's good, dude. Like, CBD flower doesn't really give me a head eye, but it gives me a head change to some level. It's more of like a calm. It's like, it's this hyper sense of calmness. It's just like, I'm chill, you know? That's just what I feel, you know? That's the head change. It's just, I am chill. You know? Like, I'm good. Like, with, you know, more of the recreational stuff where there's a lot more THC, you know, and more, you know, emphasized, you know, be high, essentially, you know? Well, I'll just put it bluntly. You know, like, yeah, there, you know, there's like, depending on the bud and strain, it has different head changes, you know, and a lot of times it gets me at the end of the day that, like, I'm chill, but some days it's like I'm more pumped than chill, you know. It's like some days, like, there's been a couple days where I've just been like, have a bowl, you know, after I have some food and stuff, and be like, let's do some shit, let's get down to town, let's do something. I mean, get downtown as to, like, let's do some work and stuff, and just knock all of it out, you know, have a little more food, have a snack, chill for a bit, do a little more work afterwards, you know. I've tried the buds in the pre-rolled cones. It smells like the real thing. I smoked a joint of it on the patio of the Kava bar after a glass. Nice, dude. That just sounds suave as fuck, honestly, the way you just put it. Smoked a joint on the back patio of the Kava bar after a nice glass. Had a good night. Things were smooth and we had a good time. Things were good that night. And that day, there was success. And that's the point we all make at the end of the day, right? Is success, huh? Let's get some monotone, dude. Let's get in this mode, dude. Let's just do it. Boom. Hey. Oh my God, goodness gracious. Yaps! I'm over here, Dad. We have kava bars. You can smoke CBD on the patio. Have a nice, chill conversation with your folks. You know, talk about your successes. You got everything going on right and left. You know, you got the money. You got your comforts, and you got your bar where you can get that nice drink at the end of the day for that celebration. We just need, like, that noir jazz in the background right now, dude, and it'd be fucking good. I can honestly do it way better if I had some of that noir jazz going on, man. Kava could fuck you up. Hence why, you know, I think we need, like, that fucking line. That's why you go in there, you know, and be like, fuck yeah, let's celebrate this shit. It just seems like the place that could fuck you up. I don't even know anything about them, but they just seem like the place that could fuck you up. There's actually a straight up authentic Scottish bar somewhere around here that my friend goes to after he has band practice and shit. I want him to take me there. I want to know what the fuck this place is. I'm, like, curious. It's just like, dude, Like, the one Irish bar we could go to, you're banned from because you, like, I guess the bartender was a dick to you and you acted like a bigger dick and now you're banned. It's like, well, good job. Yeah, but let's go to a Scottish one. But you never take me to it, you cunt. It's just like, what the fuck? Do they serve haggis? I think so. If my, I don't remember. I have to ask Tyler because he goes there, so... I think it's out in Oregon City or some shit, this bar.
Elephants. Pink elephants. Wow.
Pink elephants. What's funny is we had a flute player in band who literally had a pink elephant tie. He would wear it to everything. To all the events that, you know, essentially were like, hey, you know, like playing like for jazz band or playing for just ensembles or whatever, he would always have that pink elephant tie. It was literally like a dark pink with bright pink elephants. It was awesome. It was just an awesome tie. I'm just like, dude, where'd you get this? I forgot where honestly, I forgot where he said he got it from, but I guarantee I can find that online. Guarantee you.
You put pink tie. I mean, pink. What was it? A cow?
Elephant. A pink elephant. When you forgot that you see pink elephants now, you're like, wait, what is that animal? Oh no. Oh no.
Well, I don't want to tell you.
Bicycle day was the 19th. Well, I rode my bike a little bit that day, so I celebrated somewhat.
Did they have a naked bike race on the 19th?
I think that's on June or July or June or something.
I'm gonna go this year. Yeah.
You want to go to it? Didn't you say you never wanted to go to it because it just seems so absurd?
No, I'm gonna go this year. Just put all my clothes on.
Well, you have to. Well, do you know how to ride a bike? You want to ride
No,
one?
I got to get a 3-wheeler.
Well, if Tyler wants you to borrow it, but I think I don't know if he wants. I don't know if he wants. I don't know if he wants to donate it for that specific purpose.
He can come with me.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It'd be a good time.
That's what
All
they
the naked ladies and shit me.
Well, there's definitely apparently there's like a lot of after parties. Like there's like not like organized after parties that happen, you know,
right.
and it's just like I'm more honestly down for the after parties because that sounds like, you know, you'll have some drinks, you know, have some J's with people, you know, talk with some people, you know, probably chicks, you know, or whatever and stuff like that. It's like, you know, there's at that point, honestly, because you're all just freeballing it, you know, there's a sense of like. There's a sense of like, hey, you know, we just have to be comfortable with the fact that you're beautiful and hot as fuck. You know, it's just like,
it's like you
know, I don't know how brazen you can be. I mean, I think you still have to at least have you know, basic conversation first before you get to that conversation. But I mean, it depends on the chick, I guess. If some of them are just like, hell yeah, I'm down to get down with it. It's like, well, okay. Man, I can imagine these after parties just looking so primal as fuck. Just a bunch of just humans with nothing, just free in the winds, like we used to be. Way in the proto-modern human age. Bicycle Day's anniversary, discovery of LSG, the first trip.
They nudist camps around here?
I don't know about camps. I know there's, on the coast, there are nudist beaches. But, I don't know about little, like, areas that are, or, like, parks or anything like that are.
That'd be unusual.
Yeah. I knew someone who, used to go to nudist beaches every now and then. Just to, you know, to go to them. Because she actually was, like, a nudist and stuff. She actually was, like, about, like, the, you know, free, type of thing. I mean, she actually was like, oh, well, I'm gonna still be covered up and stuff, because, you know, whatever, just doing my normal thing, but, like, she actually was like, but, you know, on the same time, like, but, you know, we should also, you know, be free and whatever, you know, that's why I always go to these nudist beaches and places and stuff like that because you know she's all about that too. It's like that's awesome. She was actually really chill as fuck. I still have her number actually. I wonder if she's still doing anything. See what she's up to.
Yeah.
Albert Hoffman, April 19th, 1943 in Basel. Awesome. Rode home on a bike from his lab. First ever trip. Hey, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. The first ever trip. Hey. Oh, fuck. That just reminds me next week. My second trip may be next week, too.
Well, yeah.
Shit. I gotta think about that one. I won't think about that now. I'm setting that one on the afterburner for now. You get it from Logan? Yeah, he actually got it. He already had a trip himself with one of his other friends. I mean, honestly, this guy's name's probably been blasted multiple times, and it's just his name anyways. But he had a trip with his friend Forrest, and so I'm assuming he probably won't trip with me, but I'll probably have me and my dad would probably do our own. Just relax, man. Just practice mindfulness. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about the trip itself. I'm more worried about like when do I want to take it? Like, cause I'm just like, cause there's a lot of, you know, I mean, I won't say there's like a lot of shit going on, but I would say that there's like, you know, a lot on my mind, I should say, I guess. Like, there's a lot of stuff I like, you know, think a lot on and shit. You know, yeah, he's open to, he actually told me, he's like, I heard, you know, you might get acid. Well, I want to want to do that trip again. Just, you know, just why not? I'm like, well, fuck yeah, why not? I'm just like, let's get it. That'd be legit. I don't know if he'd want to do it with me, but that's up to him. Like, cause I know he wants to do it on his own terms in accord, you know, for his own dad. Yeah, cause he actually is open to have acid and stuff, so. Cause he, you know, wants to have another trip at some point, so I'm just like, all right, well, I can get some now for you, so okay, you know. Very anti-drug with psychedelics. My mom is. Dad, not so much. My dad has done shrooms, acid, I think probably LSD too, considering he's been from Ohio State too. Probably not the best trip if you have issues. I mean, it's not really necessarily issues. It's more like trying to, like, for me, it's like I'm trying to figure out, you know, the whole scenario and shit. Like, it's like such a very complicated thing to, like, try to explain, I guess, and especially in my own perspective. Especially trying to not delve too much into it as well. But I don't know, like, I feel like, I mean, I'll know when it's a good time, you know, like, at the end of the day, I'll know when it's a good time, you know, to have that trip, you know, like last time. Like, I was just like, you know, this is alright opportunity, let's do it. You know, that was like the last time, and it was good. It was actually very great. So, as long as I keep that mentality this second time, it'll all be good. Are you good? Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I'm good. It's just like, I mean, there's, I mean, I just got, like, I'm trying to find the best way to explain without getting into too much personal information. Because I do got a relative in a hospital currently, but,
yeah, the big guy.
But, it's not, like, terrible. If anything, it's actually good, you know, what's going on. But it's more so, like, I mean, like, again, it's really hard to explain. Like, it's just that with that semario, it kind of, like, put in a little, like, hey, you know, kind of made me kind of step back a little bit to kind of reflect a little more, and it's just kind of hard to explain, you know, in a way.
Oh, I don't know.
There's a difference between a full-on speed roller coaster ride and Trizen psychedelic. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, the first time was a microdose, and this next time will definitely be a dose, like just a straight up like full tab. So, you know, I definitely know there will be that difference, and I mean that I'm not concerned about. I mean, if anything, I'm kind of interested and fascinated in what will happen, you know, on top of what I already was able to feel during my trizzing, you know, as I guess it's put, being buzzed, trizened, or trizzed, mixing buzzed and tripping. I kind of like that, but
he does like a podcast or something like that.
Trying to explain what I do. Just keep some kind of benzo on hand in case it goes bad. I'm not really worried about it going bad. I'm more or less like
Lots of his local friends, you know, if they're not here, they're on his
I'm not really worried about being bad. Like if it does, like how I do it, like how I generally try to deal with situations that I'm uncomfortable or bad with, essentially, or like with anxiety. Like I already have like a sense of how to try to deal with that on my own personal level, so I'm not really worried too much on that. So it's
he's not a kid. He's not a kid anymore. So
it's like I ain't kid anymore. That's true. I don't know what they're laughing about, but I'm laughing about that. I ain't a kid no more. That's the truth. But yeah, like you know, I'm not really worried too much about if anything bad happens, and if anything does, I'm able to. I feel like I'll be able to be all right enough to step back and be like, all right, it's good, it's all right, I'm fine. Just try to deal with the scenario, or just let it ride through. You'll be fine. You know, I'm able to, even when I'm high as fuck on, you know, weed and stuff, I'm able to be like, all right, hold up, I'm fine. Just check back, just reality check really quick. You're good. Just ride through it. You're fine. You know, just quick. You know, you're fine. You know, just like a quick little sober. You're okay. Just keep going. You know, type of thing.
You were on drugs. You don't remember anything. You don't know who was driving.
I'm so curious to like have in on their conversation too. Whoop! You ain't gonna fall. Battery ain't low, but might as well just charge it just for the sake of doing so. Like Disoactives, PCV, ketamine, DXM, nitrous oxide, class of listeners inside of downers if they don't really make you anxious. I mean, I don't really get anxious as much anymore. If anything, I get kind of just like at most slightly uncomfortable, but I'll be like, well, I can just find a way to get out of this situation. But when it comes to like a trip essential, in that type of sense, I mean, even then I can be like my get out situation would be like, hey, you're fine, just keep riding, and you know, like I mean, like my next one, I just kind of wanted to like be in my room and chill, you know, for my next one for sure, and I want to maybe have like at least one of my friends just chilling, you know, with me, you know. Maybe not necessarily doing a trip with me, but just being with me, So, like, in case I am starting to be like, then he can be in, like, change it to something so my mind gets to something different and the trip just goes a different route with that. So, or maybe it won't, but I mean, that can at least help get me to a different mindset to allow that trip to focus differently. So, like, I'm trying to plan it enough to where I'll be good, you know, to where I'm not gonna have like anything necessarily bad happen. Like last time. I mean, last time was just literally off the cuff, but that was what made it good. It was like it was just such a sensory enhancement that was really good for it because it allowed me to observe, hear, see, analyze. It just tapped into that like clockwork almost. It was just so like wow, like it was so cool and so weird too at the same time to just be so many have just have just such a heightened sense and being like so aware of everything. It was there was something about that. It was like wow, it made me so giddy. It made me want to like go forth more. So, like, in a sense, a microdose for me of, like, acid would just allow me to just go forth and just, you know, just analyze, observe, take in. It's not as enjoyable, though, when it comes to having a fun time.
That's the way my sister was.
Yeah, and see, on part of it, I want to have the fun time about it. The Days of Yore. Yeah, that's a good one. Every now and then I like to listen to it, just kind of quietly to myself in the room after I'm blitzed and just with the light off, you know, as I'm kind of getting ready to go to sleep. I have like a little snack or something because I'm still kind of hungry, and I'm not like quite ready to sleep, so the snack will help me get to that kind of coma, and getting down on the high and being blitzed will make me just like that. So it'll just be like, it's a perfect combo, and listening to that allows me to just kind of like, yeah, just kind of chill. I do that with all sorts of other stuff, but that's on the little like list of things I use. Favorite Buddhism song? Shit. There was this ambient song. I think it might have been off that album. But I'm not 100% too sure. I think it was called. It was one of the songs that was Nordic. It was, I think, Orthony. Like, which I think was pretty much a song. If I had to take a guess, you know, it's about Odin, which in Old Norse will be like in that, or at least roughly translated to what we can perceive of today, will be like Orthin, or like Urthin, depending on like I guess the Germanic interpretation. There's very slight differentiations, and I'm guessing that that's just a slightly different interpretation, or maybe a plural, or maybe like more like, you know, Odin's, or, you know, something like that. I'm not 100% too sure, but it's like a very ambient song, and but that one's really good. I think it was really like beautifully like choreographed, like, or composed. Why did I? It was a really nice piece. Rendagd des Transcendental Saludos. This is mine. Holy fuck. That is quite a title name. Either that or Dekton and Gunva. Yeah, there's a lot of it, man. I mean, that was just... I mean, it took me a while. It's just because their names, like, a lot of the names of his songs, especially good ones, are just absurd, like... that. Langag die Tendersentel Solide Singulatat is... like, whoa. Hell Urthin is good. I think that actually might have been it. That might have actually been the one I was talking about, because, again, it's just like, he just has such, he taps back into, you know, that type of culture, you know, when it comes in that type of folklore when it comes to songs, and a lot of bands do, like, Tio is known for that, like, Amon Amarth doesn't really put it in their song titles, but they, not really so much anymore at least, but they, like with, albums like, what the fuck called? Like Once to the Great Halls or like Twilight of the Thunder God, etc. That title's German. Circumambulation of the transcendence of the singularity. Oh my god, that's a beautiful name.
Cats are getting all up in my grill.
Bandito. You pretty boy. Wanna come here? Too
I
bad.
don't know.
So I'm just like, you wanna come here? Too
I
bad.
don't know.
Hey, buddy.
You tell me what time it is in your time zone.
Oh my goodness,
Add
boy.
1 hour.
Oh my goodness.
Or minus an hour, yeah. So
Ah.
it's 1:07.
Ah. Oh my goodness. Having a fit. Okay. He's a funny kitty. He's just like, he's just looking back at me like, what the
Getting
fuck?
all up in my grill wherever I go. They're wanting dinner.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Yeah, usually I feed them about 11.
Brett.
The roommate.
Huh?
Everybody's something to Brett.
I think it's actually his friend John. He was mentioning Brett as like in context of something else. Wagner goes hard on the Jews. The Jews.
Rodney says behave yourselves.
Oh, it's him. I don't know. I don't know that one, but I am. In my definition of behaving myself, I am.
That's dangerous.
Exactly. That's dangerous. Just a title that explains nothing but itself. With a description that explains nothing but itself. Rodney is brother fag. Huh? I don't know. I don't know. I sit here, me no. Me no understand. You're probably facepalming to whatever this might be, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't know. I just... Don Jr. to your Eric Trump. No. I don't know who he is. I don't know who Rodney is. It's one of his friends. I don't know. I don't know if I met that one. I know I've met the other two. That's why I referenced him first, because I assume maybe it's one of them, but I guess not. So I don't know.
Roger Dangerfield.
Yeah, it could be Roger Dangerfield. I don't know. Yeah, it could be like some famous celeb telling me to behave myself. That'll be fine. It's your brother, right? No. I mean, I have one, but no, that's not him. I thought Ryder was your older brother. Never mind. Oh. No.
Well, he wouldn't have took that long.
Nah, yeah, they wouldn't have a conversation. He wouldn't even be up right now, dude. Well, maybe he would. It's this weekend. I don't know.
He gave the money to Mom, so I get my money tomorrow.
Ugh. Doesn't even give it to you directly.
We don't see each other.
Doesn't that seem kind of like pussy-ish?
No, he's just waiting around.
Or just running around, I guess. Well, you could just... I mean, he stopped by here before. Oh, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Joe made a video today. Yeah, I saw you say earlier. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. See what he's up to. That's probably why I didn't show up. It's like, he will come in on to my video. He will see the notification and arrive to see what I have made.
Okay, I'm in bed.
Joe made a video. Not gonna trip on any wires. No trip wires. Oh, I don't even want to mention trip wires. There's this movie. I actually was getting the name of this movie wrong because I mentioned it before, but this is movie. It's Kilo Bravo 2. I thought it was like Kilo Bravo 6 or some shit, but no, it's Kilo Bravo 2. I was off by a number. But it's basically about like these British forces in Afghanistan, and it starts off with one of them getting hit with what was first assumed as a mortar strike, but then realized was just a mine strike, and then they find out at this point that they're in a minefield, and it just becomes over time a chaotic scenario where, like over time, like 8 dudes get blown, by mines, and I think one of them and a couple of them died due to the injuries, but a lot of the rest of them recovered. Of course, amputees and shit. The movie is it's actually on YouTube. I found out it's on YouTube, and someone like bootleg it, and YouTube hasn't knocked it down, but it is a really like that guy. Even that is like too much for me. Like last night, I was just like, it's a pretty crazy film. Like the film is very like it delves into the like psychology a lot, like psychological warfare and shit. And the movie portrayed that pretty well. I think it's pretty like I think they have done pretty accurately in how they portrayed like the trauma and like the PTSD, especially and the realism of your leg getting fucking blown off. Like when I'm watching this movie, my legs are twitching. Like my legs will be twitching like and it won't stop. It's just like, dude, mines are fucked up. Oh my god, dude, they are. Mines are just like I haven't even been on a minefield and I'm traumatized by these fucking things. It's just like if I can't imagine being on a mine and realizing it's like pressure, like pressure lit or whatever, and you're just stuck there. And oh my god. Or the ones that just aren't. The ones if you just step, well, you're fucked. But oh man, dude. Like seriously, watching that movie, my legs are fucking shaking. Like because it just, oh my god. Like, oof. The movie is really good though. Like it's a very, very good film. Like I recommend giving it a watch. It's on YouTube actually, I found out. So you could just look it up right now after this. You always hear a distinct noise from afar, like a loud bang from the compressed air. Or there's just that distinct click. Then the explosive detonated and it kicks up dust. Yeah. Man. Mines are fucked. I don't want to ever, like, if there's some weird fantasy scenario where I am, like, into, like, some weird, like, collapse of the U.S., no man's land shit, and I'm, like, trying to survive and whatever, and there's a minefield, like, like, if I ever caught myself in that scenario, I probably would just rather shoot myself than live through a fucking mine, dude. I think I'll just, like, if I hear that and I just can't move, because if I do, it will blow up, I'm just gonna be like, how do I deal with this? Like, it's like, there's no, like, true way for me to deal with this. I'm fucked. If I live, my legs are dead, they're gone, I'm gonna bleed out and die from that. Make it quick on me, or make it slow and painful. Take my pick. At that point, it's just like, I think I made my mind up on fucking mines if I find myself in that. Like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't, like, even, like, without my legs, like, if I lived, even without that, oh my god, I don't know if I could deal with that shit. The state would be out there in rural areas disarming ones from the war. They had to be detonated, usually. I can imagine. And also, you have to think that over time that the land has shifted, so they're not even where they used to be. So their old maps of like where the mines used to be probably aren't even like accurate. So they're just kind of going in there blind, having to just like slowly like weed out these fucking fields and regions, and just hope they find one. You know, they can't rely on any of the maps. They're just utterly obsolete. You know, the land shifts over time, and the mines will shift with that. To get buried under leaves and brush. That's why the farmers did what you did. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like it still makes my point, though, because, like, over time, all that brush and leaves and shit will eventually, like, you know, move around. And mine, over time with the land, you know, with the mud over time with rains and shit, rainfall kind of start moving around a bit. But still doesn't justify the farmers, though. Jesus Christ. Farmers hiring poor homeless people who just need fucking help instead of being blown to bits by fucking mines. Oh my god. I'm surprised mines aren't on like the international law of like banned fucking weapons to use, because those things are just absolutely absurd. Like, when you actually, like, look at the psychological and, like, physical, like, brutality of those fucking things, I mean, you know what, I mean, you know, it's kind of funny that we have, like, laws of, like, hey, you can't do war that brutally. I just kind of realized that. It's like, hey, you can't do war that brutally. They are banned? Oh, well, okay. Well, cool. Well, I guess people under NATO. Oh, well, NATO, I guess. I kind of meant more internationally, but hey. Push it further, I suppose, on that one. State wouldn't remove them because they were buried. He sent people running through it riding bicycles. The state wouldn't... Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Just the incompetence of fucking some countries and some... oh my god. The country like the U.S. would still violate the treaty and get away with it. Oh, of course we would. I guarantee you we would do it. I guarantee you we already are doing like drone strikes that massacre fucking civilians on a daily basis. So why wouldn't we be, you know, break any of the other ones? I guarantee you, if you know we actually were involved in like a hot war with like a other actual country, you know, like Iran or Russia, maybe I don't know, or even Venezuela, we'll probably even be using fucking chemical warfare, dude. Like, I guarantee you probably would. And everyone, the international community would be like, oh, how dare you, but we'd get away with it. Who's stopping us? Like, no one ain't gonna be stopping the fucking imperial machine. At this point, the modern world kind of gets that it's better for us to just kind of collapse under our own weight than try to deal with us. I feel like that's why they don't really bother doing anything. They're just like, yeah, they'll collapse, and we can just continue off what they were doing. We'll feed off the rest of the scraps. That's why Australia developed automated turrets for area denial, because they couldn't get away with violent entry, but a country like America does. Yep. And people literally, like I've heard people for the whole wall thing literally advocate for fucking minefields. And I think I even, maybe, don't quote me on, maybe, like, there have been, like, some politicians, maybe not on, like, the Congress level, but maybe, like, state levels, that have, like, yeah, we should probably do that. We should probably do minefields. They got it right. They shouldn't be coming in this country. They're breaking them damn law. If you break the damn law, you're gonna break your goddamn legs. I tell you what. It's just like, how about no? How about you detain them, and give them like a pamphlet of like the options to do so legally and return them into their place of origin, or just direct them directly to the fucking place where they need to go to the register and shit, to come in. Like, there's humanistic ways to do so, and when they go for the registration process, they still have to go through the same procedure like everyone else does if they do so legally, so they still get the same type of, like, screenings, and all that type of shit, at least, what I'd advocate for. I'm extremely critical of weak/poor sports, but I don't support that. Yeah, exactly. Like, at least in this current time, I am, but, like, philosophically and, like, a futurist perspective, I would like to see a time where we can have, I guess, weak borders, or I guess, in a sense, open borders in this case, where, globally we can travel essentially anywhere, or at least in, like, 90% of the world, and still be relatively safe and be just fine. Like, and have just basic security for just, the essentials and whatever, kind of like how kind of the EU's in a sense, like, hey, like EU countries have pretty much, for the most part, minimal bullshit they have to deal with going to those countries. And it's like, in my futurist side wants to advocate for a world like that, but in this current society, that's in this current realm and in this current paradigm, that would not work. Open borders would be a very bad idea now. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, right now, that's not something we can achieve and would not be realistically possible. However, I would like for that to be the case in the future. Probably not going to happen in our lifetimes, though. But it's something that I think could possibly maybe be achieved in the future, but that just depends on the course of how humans go. But I'm not really optimistic on that one. So I'll just leave it at that. If that happened, third world will pour in the first world. Yeah. When you import another society, you import its problems. Yeah. And the thing is, that's why we need to have just some basic, rudimentary procedures put in for people who come into countries. And I think it should, be across the board like that, for pretty much all countries, at least for currently. At least in the modern first world countries. And at the same time, there needs to be some way to, import, I guess the more, westernized cultures and a more modern culture, globalized culture in a sense, into these more third and developing worlds to kind of help them, get out of that tribalistic nonsense, that a lot of people get stemmed into with, like, religion and shit there, like, because it's so very easily spread, and people who believe in it are very pretty much diehard extremists. And unfortunately, the U.S. has a lot of them too. I mean, the U.K. sometimes they got that, to some extent, and actually they are, having a little bit of the problem of, like, having, part of the third world's problems starting to come into their, into a first world thing, and that is a problem. Like, I mean, right now, at this point, now you're having to try to enforce, a culture that you were having, and now it's starting to be challenged, and in your own, area, when at this point you should have been trying to export that outward instead. I mean, America has done this pretty successfully. I mean, we have Americanized a lot of the modern culture, essentially, which at this point, like, a lot of the global culture, a globalized culture is going to be Americanized at this point. So at this point, I'm thinking, like, Americanized culture is fucking the more globalized culture at this point. Like, that's kind of what I'm seeing it as. Yeah, that's my personal perspective. But from that, like, I mean, we should, like, that's just the fundamental issue. Like, that's not being the main issue. Like, taken in, it's like we should, advocate for proper border security, but at the same time. And while it's, taking people in, because we should be able, to try to offer a helping hand to people who are actually trying to come in on good merits. But at the same time, we have to make sure that people who don't have good merits or good intentions, or straight up terrorists or whatever, not come in. Like, it's okay to have that position. And that just kind of goes across the board, at least for me. Like, if you're like some white guy with poor intentions trying to come and move, I'd be the same way. Now, an educated, skilled person who has the resources to cross an ocean, less likely to be religious. Yeah, and you see that a lot, like, and you know, like various different places like China and stuff. They're a lot less religious, but a lot more educated.
Well, how do you think they're
To be
gonna
fair,
help?
China's more of an
They already
atheist
did that.
state, but I mean, overall, it's like you see that just in general. Like if you go meet some educated person, regardless of where they're from. I met this guy who I had a music class with him once. This guy was only in the U.S. for 1 year, and he moved from Iran. And he was a very educated guy, and wasn't even a religious dude at all. But he kind of kept it under wraps. So, like, when he was there, he was practicing. But when he was here, he didn't give a shit. Like, he was just wanting to play music, try to get an arts major and stuff like that. Like, that's just what he was about, trying to, you know, get him some form of a music career. And the guy was a killer pianist player. Like, he was a piano player, like, phenomenal. Like, he actually could probably be a really decent composer.
Well, yeah, you got busted by the IRS for tax evasion.
That's why I'm so skeptical of these claims that European societies need to be banned for tribal identities because Europe's the only place on earth doing it. It's not. I mean, I agree on the sense they should have banned tribal identity, but I think humanity overall should, because I think that's part of the whole fundamental problem in the first place.
Yeah, they
Nowhere in the world do you see
Yeah,
such
there's
white guilt
no-
masochism
yeah,
and self-doubt seeing Western sides. I kind of see it a lot, at least in like liberal U.S. areas, kind of like Portland. I kind of see that too. I mean, I think that's kind of a part of the modern culture. And I don't know how long. I don't know if it's like an indefinite thing. I feel like this is just something that. I feel like this is just like one of the phases of different cultures that wave in and out. So I don't know. I feel like after a certain time that these type of ideas are gonna be seen as just like ridiculous. Hence, kind of like the '90s were so edgy, and prior to that, it wasn't as edgy. But after the '90s, things weren't edgy anymore. You had to be careful. So now I feel like the reverse is going to happen again, and people are going to be edgy again. Because it's like, well, fuck this. We're done with this. The people of mass immigrating in Europe have a game of the travel identity. Hope history sees this is almost. Yeah. And again, like, I think it's an issue. Like, it shouldn't be just the West doing that. Like, you know, or giving up their tribal identities. It should be humanity. And I think, you know, if humanity entirely can start at least acknowledging this, I think we could actually start figuring out world issues, you know, trying to give up this tribal identity and realize we're all of one, you know, special tribe, essentially, if that's the way to put it. Like, at this point, we're starting to become we're, on one hand, you know, in the works of being a globalized society. On the other hand, we're destroying that, process.
Yeah, that'll get you.
I agree too. It's a fool's errand. That's hence to my point I just made. Like, you know, I don't even know I just said it in that too. I just like was about to repeat it, but it just blinked out of my head. So I just said it and it was there. So if you knew what I said, you could quote it out and I'll repeat it again. But I mean, whatever, man. That happened. Oh, bandito. If Europe's going to let third world ports, then Europeans are going to play swills and be burned with guilt. Also, immigrants. I mean, the thing is, I think collectivism is a little different than tribalism in a sense, because I think you can be collectivist in a sense, you know, work together as like a team in a sense, and also still have individualist properties as well. You know, like, I think they can go hand in hand, but I think that's the thing. Like, you know, collectively we should all work together to bring our individualist attributes of ourselves out, you know, to be able to do that, have everyone have those equal opportunities to, you know, individually, you know, bring out their aspects and their interests out, you know, and have it out, you know, in the whole global world of ideas and history and all that shit, you know, just on the whole global humanistic aspect of that. Like, at least that's my, idea of what, like, collectivism at least should, turn towards. That's why I say it's never anywhere else in the world such scale. Yeah. I don't even know what I said earlier, but I think it was,
The inside was still good.
It was like, what did I say? We have to prospect, we're on, like, what was it? It was, we're in the process of building a global society, but at the same time, we're destroying it, or something like that. In Europeans, stand up for values like social gay rights, women's rights, but beyond compromising the reason I say is because these sort of values scarcely exist. Yeah, exactly. Which, I do advocate for that stuff. That's the whole point. We should actually be trying to advocate for these type of things. Comes to like the whole LGBT and women's rights, etc., because those are things we should be advocating for, but it shouldn't because there's still problems happening in the West. It's just because those are things that should just be advocated for, and we should be pushing that message on places that don't advocate that at all, like Saudi Arabia, Iran, the Middle East for the most part, various places in Africa, even places in Asia too. There's all sorts of places that still needs a whole lot of those type of things, like third wave feminism. Let me tell you how third wave feminism could have been done good. Here's how this wave could have been good. If the proto start of this wave was focused on all the women who were coming out of these different third world countries and saying, I'm trying to advocate for feminism and for women's rights here, and actually focus pretty much strictly on these issues, and focus on trying to export these rights and these ideas and these views and ideas on, I'm pretty sure I just said that twice, onto the third world that doesn't have any of these ideas or values or whatever you want to call them, and that's how the third wave feminism started, and that's how we got the spread of feminism in the West, trying to push it out into the developing world. Then the third wave actually would have been it would have just been even a continuation of the other previous waves that were good behind it. But unfortunately, it never came to that. It came into Gamergate or whatever the fuck, and Me Too, which is absurd. And that one's just such a mixed bag on its own right, because it's just because it's some cases are merited, and some the Cosby one, it's on that one I just don't think he needed to be punished as severely, which sounds atrocious out of context, but I think it's just due to his age, and he has just a property where he doesn't need to leave it. He has enough there to be whatever. And he was already doing that in the first place, and he was near death anyway, man. So what the fuck? Anyway,
that's the way I am.
There's also Harvey Weinstein. So there are genuine cases, but then there's the Enzies and Zari, Louis C.K. and shit that shouldn't even be considered Me Too cases or whatever, but yet they are, which totally degrades this whole thing. The reason why third wave feminism doesn't do that is because it's intersectional, and within intersectional cultural moral relativism trumps the feminist principle. That's its downfall, right there. That's why it fucking sucks.
I think I did a time or two,
but I acknowledge moral relativism in the sense that it's relative to where you were, where you came from, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your morality is just as fine as mine. It's no, if you have a morality of thinking it's just fine and dandy to just beat the fuck out of your wife just because she made a sandwich wrong or something like that, then your morals are fucked up. I don't believe in objective morality. I'm a nihilist. Same here. I don't believe in objective morality either. I'm like, I know morality is subjective, which that's about as far as my moral relativism goes. But beyond that, I'm just like, only you can put, personal meaning in, your own morals and stuff. And it's just so complicated. And, honestly, there isn't no actual meaning, but I do understand, like, human empathy and shit. And I do have that for my fellow man. So it's like, it's a very major philosophical point, basically, at least for my case. Like, I would love to have I'd love maybe someday to have a conversation with TJ about nihilism, honestly, because, I think it would just be really interesting to see what, like, it would just kind of, I think it'd just be really cool and interesting, man. I'd just be like, kind of see his perspective, open my perspective, and just kind of try to delve into different ideas of nihilism, and things like that. If I stand up for mine, although I acknowledge the subjectivity. Exactly. So do I. And on some cases, I'm kind of like morally ambiguous because I'm still trying to figure out some of my personal meaning and morality, like, because I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, for a while, like, I think, for people who have been here for a long time, watching these streams from, like, the early times, for a while, I was just like, death penalty's okay for a certain extent, and after a while, I'm just like, not really. I'm not really open to that. I'm still, like, maybe very few select cases, but that's just at this point, just due to the fact that some people are just absolutely fucking horrid and wretched. But I'm more at this point just like, how about solitary confinement? Let's just do that. Like, life without parole, solitary confinement, something like that. I don't know. Like, I mean, but I don't think principally that I can really stand up for that. I'm just like, no.
Because I soaked your room.
I'm totally against it for any and all circumstances.
I soaked your room.
See, like, I think you and I having conversations about capital punishment is what kind of allowed me to kind of step back and think about my own, position on it. Hence why I've changed it. Because I don't think if I was able to, actually, like, and also I had a class project where we actually had a debate on the death penalty. So I've actually had a debate about this once before for class purposes, but I came in actually wanting to be like, hey, let's actually have a really awesome discussion. We were very open with, exchanging information, stuff like that. I even popped some info, for certain issues, not everything. We wanted to kind of come out and, surprise each other with some shit. I'll be like, hey, I got some articles about some stuff, but hey, this, you just like, I found some really cool stuff about this. If anyone wants, if anyone's curious about that, it's not for my position, but it'll be interesting for yours if you want to check it out or whatever. I'd read it anyway. But hey, it was very interesting and very cool. It's very easy to hear a story like Paul's carjacking, get angry, and feel desire for punishment or revenge. Yeah, and the thing is, that's why, at least to a certain point, I'm just like, for an average Joe person, for like, even for these scenarios, I wouldn't have that as an option. But, like, I just, but now I've changed my position to the point where it shouldn't, I'm kind of to the point, it's like, maybe, like, for, like, very few people. But at this point, I feel like there could be more benefit in actually doing, like, studying of, their nature and their, like, personality and their behavior for a lot of these people that we could do this to, put them to death. But instead, probably potentially get research that could potentially benefit us to help prevent these type of people from coming out again in the future. Like, for example, if a serial killer, like, is out and about, we finally catch the guy, like for Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, like, instead of putting him for the death penalty, they had, and there was a few moments where they were able to extend. He did some interviews before. There's some on YouTube actually you can find, and they kind of delved into his psyche a little bit and try to understand, like, not enough, but try to understand his perspective a little. And honestly, like, I like maybe with someone guarding me, but I would break bread and have a conversation with Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to like, it's to the point of more of curiosity and trying to understand my fellow man and the multitude of behaviors and some of the nature that we are capable of, at least. You know, it's something that, you know, starting to come to more of an intriguement, you know, if like, you know, I want to try to like what drove you to this? Like, what, you know, what was your childhood like? Maybe, you know, could that, you know, is there something that potentially could have done that? You know, you know, there's a lot of questions that for a lot of different people cannot be answered unless you have a conversation, ask them a question. In a lot of cases, we put these people to death and kill them before we ever are able to, you know, talk to them or whatever. And for like someone like Charles Manson, we never, because for at least the United States, we have such poor awareness on mental health and poor research and development on mental health. It's because there's like almost none at all. Like, I'm actually surprised Oregon alone has a pretty somewhat alright, decent, you know, mental health, you know, research and shit, but not enough. And, you know, for someone like him, we had his life to figure him out, but yet it's still left into a lot of ambiguity. Like, there's a lot of things we still don't really know a lot about him, and yet he lived a whole fucking life in prison, and we know, and on the very few interviews that there were, and you couldn't really get anything out of him, but with enough, you know, pressure and enough, you know, sessions of counseling on him, you can get something out of it. You can get something out of a lot of different people, and you could probably, you know, play a little psychology on him, you know, and like try to see what will allow him to kind of talk more about his personal experience compared to, you know, just walking in there and asking a question, you know, because some people don't respond to that. But for others, but for some people, maybe coming in with a different approach will allow them to be way more comfortable with you and open up to you. So there's I'm to the point, like, you know, these people should just be like, you know, studied to some extent, you know, to try to, you know, like, essentially, of course, you know, it shouldn't be unethical, but, you know, but there's, you know, we should have ways to, in a program or something, you know, to study these type of people, because if we're able to learn more about these people's psyche and their, you know, personalities, behavior, like patterns of how, you know, what kind of clicks and how it makes this person the way they are, we could, you know, look out for these things in the rest of the, you know, public, you know, populace and shit, and, you know, allow them to, you know, try to catch these type of people and help them get out of those type of scenarios and allow them to be a far better productive person in society and actually seek some of their potentials and shit. Like Charles Manson, that guy was pretty interested in music, man. He had some interesting music even at the start of what's released. And, like, you know, it's just like, there's potential out of some of these people, and a lot of it's missed. And I think these people wouldn't have done some of the things they have done. Like, you know, for Charles Manson, for example, I don't think he would have done what he did if he made it in the music industry. Like, Varg had good potential in music too. My point exactly. There's a lot of these type of people, and like, it's interesting. A lot of these type of, like, serial killers, murderers, cultists like Manson or whatever, you know, like, if you notice, a lot of those people tend to aim themselves a lot near music. And the people who do make it, it makes me wonder which one of those especially like which one of these type of people would have just snapped if they just never could have made it in this, you know? It just kind of makes me think a little bit. It's like there are, like, especially in in history of music and stuff, like, you know, seeing people, you know, rise and fall and stuff, you know, and everything, you know, just, but people's rises and stuff are kind of interesting because, like, especially for people who have really harsh backgrounds and pasts and stuff, especially that we know of, and it's like, damn, could this person potentially have just snapped if they didn't make it in the music industry like they did? Or would they have just find a way to be an average Joe? It's kind of an interesting question to speculate in the head every now and then. You know? I mean, at least with Varg, he still was able to use some of that potential because the Norwegian prison system is pretty, well, you know, pretty liberal, I guess, you know, pretty, like, chill with letting you have things per request, I suppose. So, it's like, okay. Need a moment? Chew it over with Twix. God damn it. Yeah, I went on my mass rant, so I kind of ignored these. Hold on. The Gabriel Gifford shooter, schizophrenic, has expressed great remorse and mental clarity for his actions after receiving psychiatric treatment and medicine in prison. Yeah. So maybe if the person didn't have a schizophrenic episode and was actually had medical treatment and had awareness of his mental issues and had treatment for that, maybe he wouldn't have done that. The human brain is a biological computer. Some of them have faulty hardware and some bad operating systems, some both. Yeah. Exactly. What are your thoughts on the truth drugs? I think it should be allowed for interrogation even though they aren't entirely reliable. Well, if they're not really reliable, I wouldn't really allow it then at that point because they're just not reliable. But I'd be interested in doing research on it. I would never allow it to be prescribed or anything, but if needed for research for people with mental issues, like, you know, for like Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, to try to delve into the psyche more, I'd be okay with that. Interrogation, sure. Like, because it's, you know, I think the most, if, you know, it's reliable enough, you know, could potentially, it would be like the most ethical way to try to get information out of someone. As some usage. Which is why I kind of want more research into it before I'm on board with it type of thing, you know? I just have it for very select things. You know, just pretty much what I mentioned. So, you know, like, as long as, if we can get more potential out of it, you know, in research, sure. Let's have some legitimate benefits, yes. Yeah, I mean, I acknowledge that, yeah. Which, yeah. I mean, I don't think we'll get it perfect, but, you know, if we can make it better, let's do that. Skibbity-ba. Ah, fuck, hold up. Hold on. I'll just do this really quick. Ooh. Came out with a little bang after that. Dang, that was like a ball. That, like... Damn, son. Oops. Cool. Filled up. Nice. The most commonly used substance are downers like barbiturates and propofol. So it's not like some crazy uncomfortable trip. Usually the patient doesn't even remember the questioning. They're only halfway conscious. Damn! If there's a way we could potentially make that type of stuff better, then I'm for it. But, you know, if not, then alright, you know, it's whatever. Like, you know, because, you know, it depends on the person, too. Because some people will probably take it well and be fine. But some people will just be gone and it'll work perfect for what, you know, someone needs them for. But other people will be like, yeah, I know what you're doing, fuck you. You know, it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna trip on this. Where did my little poker thing go? I fell, didn't it? Oh no, I hit it. Hit it away. Using fMRI scanning is more accurately determining the possible veracity of claims. Yeah. Honestly, like, I'm just, like, when it comes to, like, questioning and stuff, like, using, you know, the best method in general is just what I'm for. And if that's what we got, that's what we got. Oh, God dang it. I'm just gonna let my thumb off this so it doesn't burn anymore. There's a high-profile murder case in India where a woman was convicted of murder by an fMRI scan because they somehow determined that she had knowledge of the crime scene that she wouldn't have otherwise. Huh. That's interesting. A little tune. Got a little vibe of a tune going. God damn it. Fucking string got all tangled up in there. I'm trying to just utilize multiple strings here to actually, like, get more dexterity skill going, because that's definitely something I need to do. I can also try to practice with the Rammstein's Engel riff. But that, I'll just try to do that really quick. Ojo needs some liquor in his life. Oh my god. Ojo needs some liquor in his life. Ojo needs some liquor in his life. Yeah. figure this out. I need to figure out the best way to do it. Fuck! Just can't get in that groove. I'm just trying to like... Let's do this shit. There we go. I can't do it with my finger. I just remembered that I can't do that with it. Yeah, at least get in the groove first. Hold on. Needs to be 4. I can do it kind of quietly, but I can't really do it loud. Can't do it as a little slap. I can't do it with that little punch that it needs, because it needs a punch here. Oh, hold on. Maybe I figured out a little method, but it adds extra technicalness. Maybe I could. Oh, hold on. You guys can probably kind of see it. Bandito, hello, boy. Guess it's louder here in the center. Fuck. I did it once. Sloppy, but there. Sloppy, but there. God damn it, Bandit. Motherfucker. Ah! I should have seen this coming. Fuck. This fucking cat, dude. Ugh. The one time I fucking hate him and vilify him. You little jackass. Where'd he go? I don't even... Smart one. Smart cat. Motherfucker. Ugh. 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 It's coming through my fucking shirt, dude. The guy almost got my second job that comes in all the time. He takes out the boxes, throws the trash, we give him leftovers. That's cool. That's always legit. Squats in an abandoned house in nearby ghetto. Polished rocks. Sure, he's mentally ill. Damn, son. Pretty brutal. I tell you what now. Fuck, hold up. God damn, hold up. Ah. It's tough. Can't do it. I could easily do it both, but it just won't let me. There we go. That one is being tough. Try to do it a little. Hold on, let me build that one up. that high yet. It should be. Okay, that's it right there. That's it. That's it. Okay. That's a pretty epic one right there. Fuck, but I just need to figure out the hand coordination. Fuck, that's a hard one, but that actually sounds awesome. Man, I gotta work on that. This is something I should be. This is one I'm working on. I'm working on this for one moment. Just gotta figure it out the best way, though. Let's try this. Let me try it this way. I'm trying to figure out the best hand coordination with this. Let's give her that. There we go. Now, Pinky doesn't want to cooperate. Now I'm trying to fix it. Fuck. There's certain things. It's just the hand technique. This is good for learning dexterity and technical endurance. What's that? Hold on. Let's stretch it up. There we go. Come on. All right. definitely. I'm gonna need. I'm definitely remember that. Like, I should at least try to figure the base part of it. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. Alright, well, I'm going on for a little too long now. Good night, niggas. Oh shit, you already did. Oh damn. I just started doing my own little thing on there for a bit. This is my own thing by myself, but whatever. It's good to have a jam out. I've been doing this last couple streams anyway, so fuck it, right? I mean, come on, it's a title that explains nothing but itself. Hey, here's a stream that explains nothing but itself. So, how about that? How about them apples, you son of a bitch? So. Oh, that was pathetic. Let me just get, like, a good little chug. Get, like, the little... Get an air pocket going on there. Have a little choo-choo. Let's get a burp going. Motherfucker. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Now I'm fucking weird, dude. Now I'm feeling weird. Fuck. Okay, come on. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, I'm just gonna have to smoke this real quick or something. That will help with that. God damn it, I'm just like, I can do it. No, I can't. God damn it. No. Vanilla, no. Alright, let's get it. Ugh, fuck. Come on. Ugh. I know I got it in me now, dude. It's building up right now, man. Oh my god, now it's just making me feel weird, dude. What the fuck? I'm hearing it barely come out of my bowels. Come on. Ah! This is angering me. Oh, man. This phlegm is angering me. Like this dead mucus bullshit from being sick earlier is just angering me. This is angering me. This dumb cunt from earlier I was mentioning on stream at the beginning of this was angering me. Like, motherfucker. A lot of things of frustration tonight. This bowl being clogged is angering me. I saw Band-Aid order. Oh, that's Curly. Never mind. Hey, buddy. Want to play with a hat? Hey, buddy. Oh, you show up to my hand, but not to the hat. Oh, I had it come out, but it was nothing. Nonsense! Nonsense! Oh, my hair doesn't want to slick back all the way. This angers me, too. Eventually, I want this shit to just slick all the way back like this. Like, all the way fucking back. Like, I don't want none of that bullshit. I'm just back. Not like force, but, you know. Maybe I should get like maybe a light gel to put in here. Deal with some of this bullshit. Get like slicked back and stuff. Let's try what I'm doing. See what happens when there's no one on here. I go insane. Hold up, let's make it more insane. Boom, bitch. Didn't smoke. Whoa! Dude! Trippy, bro. Wow. I was kind of excited for that. I realized what I was about to foresee, and I was just like, yes. At least I'm bright and you can see me. Okay, we're done now. Alright. Stabilization on! But I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to effects and turn this off. Oof! Spaken ist auf. I don't know. Speaking is off. Or out. That was stupid. Broken German, everybody. What would be like, speaking of? I need to learn more German before I start trying to speak sentences. I know some sentences and I understand German to an extent. But me speaking it is broken as fuck. So, very minimal at best. So, I just won't even attempt. Like I could try to translate it. If you got some basic shit you need translated, I could probably help. A little bit, you know, not completely, but I understand it to an extent. Like I understand broken German more than I can speak that. Like the redneck equivalent of German is basically what I'm like able to speak, and it's like broken redneck German. If that's a thing. I don't know if it's a thing. Gotta grind a little bit more of this bud, more the bud, more the bud, more the bud. I'm mildly kind of disappointed Carl was unable to go to the Big Chief. He woke up too late for that shit. I should have like told him do his game plan and I just get the fuck out. You'll be too tempted if you stayed with me. You know, it's just like, damn, son. I don't know why I didn't even mention it. It's like, dude, you should probably sleep so you can get up early for that shit, bro. To like game plan it out, set yourself up, and because the Big Chief calls for you. For Stones by River must retrieve the great herbal medicine that the chief requires. I was about to be like, what the fuck? Didn't even know he went outside. I missed this like epic lick I made. That was really complicated. But I have a dumbed down version of it. This is like, yes.
Oh, what?
This lick I made. On here. Like, the actual one I had in my head starting to be made, it was really hard, but I guess I'll show real quick. Like, I mean, it's just the main root is this, but, like, the full complexity was, like, there was this going on. Like, oh, it's better this way, but, like, there was this going on. You know, on top of that. And then there's this. Well, hold on. Oh, no, it's right here. So, I was doing this on top of, like that with this. Which was getting difficult. And then it will go to here. There. And then it'll go to here. And then it'll have this, like, super, like, octave epic shit. And then goes back down to here. But it's just like... But there's like so much going on. I mean, I was trying to do it all earlier and it was hard as fuck, so I was just able to do a more smaller version. You know, doing just the basic stuff, but... Then I would do that. Because that just sounds too awesome to me, and I was just like... And then I just go back down there, but... It was just like, oh... Doing it like in the actual speed I was in the tempo I wanted to do it was just difficult. But it was just like, oh. I got that one definitely in my memory banks as a riff to continue to do more of. Like, I want to try to get a bridge on that one. Like, there's.
I'll keep working at it.
Yeah, because that one's like probably my hardest one I've been trying to do. I think that's the hardest riff I've made. I know Tyler would just be like, oh, I know that, and just do it and just one-up me and make me be like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. Fuck you. I'm just like, you cunt. You just like made it and made it better. Damn you. I'm just like, damn you. Now I can't even, now it's like even harder for me to do.
Make it good, try and make it better.
But, yeah. Luckily, it's not as good as bass as he is on guitar, though. I think if he actually had, like, a bass, you know, to work with, he could probably learn more about rhythm, because he's definitely not a guy who knows much about rhythm guitars. He's definitely just a straight-up lead. But I think if he learned about, you know, doing rhythm as well, he will be able to, like, try to make a rhythm on top of his leads during his own practices. Like, he does, like, basic, you know, rhythms and stuff, but he could do, like, more complex rhythms on top of that. You know, learning more about, like, all the, you know, rhythms of, like, rhythm guitars and stuff, so. Well, it's just, you know, it's just a lot to it. That's why I love music. There's a lot to it. Even to say, you can make different little lines and stuff. whilst doing lines because music. Just a little more bud, because why not? 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 Because why the hell not? Because why not? Yeah. Why not? Boom. Final bolt of the night. Final bolt of the stream. Final bolt. Don't go. Final bolt. Oh yeah. Been gonna fuck yeah, oh man. But hold up, I need a moment. Chewing over with a Twix. All right, man. Still had a burst of music I needed to get out, so I just had to do a little quick jig. A jig. A little jig. A jig. Let's kind of work more on my coordination. I should be able to make, quick little, like, quick little shit like that a lot more pronounced and less sloppy like that. But, hey, practice makes perfect, yeah? And, hey, there's a lot more complexity, I'm able to work into there, so it's working out. It's working out. Anyway. Well. Yeah. Oh my god. Sweet Jesus. Okay, we know what has happened. Streamlabs glitch. But anyway. I'll be dipping out. So peace out, everyone. See y'all.